Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the turbulent waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie Bellekom, Sam Billy Bragg Burns, and Ellie Sparrow. It was almost Billy Goat. It was really
I always get food. Mine always has food in it.
True.
So technically, I think I win.
Yes.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Wow.
I mean, if it was a Billy Goat, technically still would be food, depending on your preferences. So it is episode 19. We all have our drinks ready. I have a lovely new golden goblet to be drinking from after my previous one was lost at LARP. Take nothing to LARP you aren't willing to part with. And unless anyone has anything we'd like to bring up right now, then let us cast.
I don't think so.
Okay, then we shall cast our minds forward to the future! Hello, it's Future Jason with messages from the present. I'd like to start, as is becoming a habit now, by talking about our current sponsor, Libris Arcana. Libris Arcana offers monthly or quarterly dice subscriptions. Head over to librisarcana.com, and for less than $12, just under £9, you will receive a set of 7 premium dice and 3 randomly selected bonus dice every month to sate the will of the die-hungry beast below. This month's set is Glitter Bomb Blue, but there are a number of other sets in the back catalogue, such as The Apprentice's Error. It's a little-known fact that this sultry purple and gold set actually is The Apprentice's Error, and is also The Apprentice. Kithrian Blackshaft, Archmage of the Western Isles and former adult entertainment star, had a total of 7 apprentices, each vying for supremacy over the others: Deef, Dix, Date, Den, Dundred, Delve and Dwenty. Although Dwenty most commonly received Blackshaft's favour and personal attention, each of the apprentices previously did receive a share of Blackshaft's tuition and strong, firm hand of leadership, except for Delve, whose barbarian background counted against her in Blackshaft's eyes. Seeking revenge for years of being ignored and mocked, Delve broke into her master's private sanctum and stole a rare and dangerous power word scroll, believing it to be the notorious power word kill. Yet when she unleashed the dreadful spell upon her master and his apprentices, she discovered to her horror that it was not power word kill, but power word die. The magic backlashed, and while Blackshaft barely escaped with his life, Deef, Dix, Date, Den, Dundred, Dwelve, and Dwenty were all transformed into these very dice before you now. Additionally, listen up for a spot from our friends over at Dungeons and Blackguards during the break this episode. They're a new podcast who just launched last Friday. Their first episode came out on the 9th of November. This week on Robbie Watch, Robbie is in Swansea. In Welsh, Swansea is pronounced Abertawe because of the long-held English tradition of arriving in other countries, subjugating them, finding that they can't actually pronounce the language, and just renaming things according to the first things that they can think of. And no, Swansea doesn't have any swans, although it is by the sea. In actual fact, Abertawe literally means mouth of the River Tawe, which is where it's located, and Swansea might actually come from Swansea, or Swain's Inlet, after King Sweyn Forkbeard of Denmark, who, as well as having a kick-ass name, might also have founded the city. And a quick reminder that we do have a fan-run Discord server set up by @SpicyBurritos, which you can find a link to in the episode description, or on the website if you want to discuss anything about this episode. Otherwise, that's it from future me. Back to you, past me. And casting our minds back to the past.
Sorry, the time skip really affected me today.
Yes.
It was upsetting.
No,
It feels weird now not to intensely eyeball the microphone.
We both did it. Also, there's probably a word actually there about sponsors, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got us doing things with Libris Arcana now. Hi, Libris Arcana, yay.
all manner of interesting things.
In real time, you will have heard about that weeks ago. But hey ho!
So many weeks ago. So, with that in mind then, I think that means it is time for Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party, having successfully managed to rescue the city of Crosswater from incursions by shadows, found themselves having a little bit of R&R time. They were able to conduct a late night robbery, engage in a couple of horse chases, and also engage in a spot of philosophy and identity theft with one Jean-Paul Savant, a writer and orator. Along the way, they discovered some unnerving news about a parrot that shortly thereafter was left pining for the fjords.
You killed my parrot.
The monkey's still alive thus far.
Only killed one pet.
He's resting in peace.
And joining up with your erstwhile ally, Fighty Gubbenswick, you decided to infiltrate a late night operation run by the McDougal clan. As you entered the McDougal brewery and began shifting about the lifting crates and moving them about, you discovered that it seems the McDougals were involved in spiriting away cargoes full of armaments, I should say, quite likely out of the control of the sculptor. Something that the sculptor was not best pleased about. Despairing of a more elaborate plan, you decided to call out the code word Heather right in the middle of the McDougal's brewery. So,
What could possibly go wrong with this?
Nothing.
with that in mind,
This is fine.
could everybody please roll initiative?
Not ready, no. I refuse to roll initiative.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
That's a 21.
Glad someone's on it. I got a 6.
I think that's a 5. Yes.
Oh, even worse than me.
Okay, so 5, 6, and was that 21 for you, Corzin?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so I have popped into the chat the map for this brewery.
Stowaways.
I didn't cast Mage Armor, did I?
Oh, you
So
No,
didn't.
you did not.
beforehand, but I never said it.
And indeed, to all our lovely stowaways who are listening, you'll be able to find this, as ever, on the social media.
But also on the episode description.
And also on the episode at flintlocksandfireballs.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so the four of you are currently, based on where you described this, clustered around the wagon on the lower level. Fighty is directly next to the wagon, and then Corzin, Celestia, and Scamp, you are basically dotted quite close by. You've just finished offloading 8 out of 10 of the crates. The McDougals, as I described, are based accordingly around the map. Morag is also by the wagon. She's been observing your progress. At the same time, I believe it was Johnny and Tommy are currently. They've actually been in the process of grabbing the last 2. And if I roll a luck check, okay, nope. They were on their way towards the cold storage room to grab the last 2 crates, but they've not actually loaded up their hands with crates yet. So their hands are free. At that point, meanwhile, Lonnie and Bonnie. Lonnie and Bonnie. Oh, McDougal parents, why did you name your children so?
Stupid parents.
Yes. Bonnie and Lonnie are currently on the upper level. You can see that Bonnie is currently standing to the northern edge. If you scroll down, you'll see that there is the first floor of the map as well. There is a wooden walkway which extends all around the brewery area, allowing one access to the top of the various things like the mash tun, the main brewery vessel and such, and also the malt and hops bins. Bonnie is currently standing not far from the hops bin, while Lonnie is standing near the boiler. Both of them sort of looking down at the situation. There has been no sign thus far of Sonny or Honey, who are not amongst the 5 McDougals located within the brewery.
For those wishing to follow along at home, check our social media or our website.
As mentioned,
yes,
indeed. So, Corzin, with a 21, you are first. This is actually a surprise round, as you successfully managed to call out the code word in time before the McDougals realised what was going on.
All right. I suppose I'd have to go over to... Oh, actually, the hops bin is probably the closest thing to me. So, if I've already offloaded the crate, what I'm going to do is I am going to make a dash to the side and just try and cudgel the other halfling standing there with my belaying pin, because I just want to render him unconscious. Just lights out.
So Johnny and Tommy are both near the hops bin by the entrance to the cold storage room. Bonnie is on the level above. But if you're going for so we'll say you're going for Johnny, he's marginally closer. Can you give me an attack roll, please?
Okay. Dirty 20.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay. I mean, it's a club, functionally, so it's just a D4, but still. Okay, that is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do we need to bring the one in alive, or do they all need to be alive?
You only need to bring Morag in alive for the for the bonus.
Good.
The others, they just want gone in some way.
Whack.
Out of their head. Okay, yep, Johnny, you smack him across the face. He seems... There's just this moment of surprise before the belaying pin makes contact with his jaw, and you just hear a crack sort of sound before he turns back, rubbing his jaw and reaching for his pistol. Anything else you want to do on this round?
I suppose, actually, yeah, I've got a second attack, so I'm going to pull out my own pistol and kneecap him.
Oh! Yep, make an attack
that's
roll.
brutal. Hello.
You are within 5
So
feet,
brutal.
and you don't...
Actually, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kneecap the other one.
Okay, you're still shooting with an enemy within 5 feet of you. So that's the way the disadvantage works. As long as the enemy is capable of interfering with you in some way. I mean, arguably, you know what? It is a surprise round, so maybe not. You know what? No. Yeah, no, this is my call. Actually, because you're acting in the instance before they can react. They're not really providing a threat yet, so I'll let you make this one without disadvantage.
Okay.
Just roll it again.
Right, okay, fine, I'll roll it.
Because I realise you rolled it twice.
Roll anew.
Yeah.
Okay, that is 22.
That's roll damage!
Okay, so that's a D10.
Oof.
Okay, it's 5 percussive, just Oh, that's gonna hurt in the morning.
It only catches the very side of, it slightly misses the kneecap and goes into the thigh instead, but it's still, he immediately screams with pain.
I'm just trying to disable them. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay, next up then, in this surprise round, it is Celestia.
Okay, is Morag about?
Morag is on the opposite side of the wagon to you, nearest the door.
So how far is that?
She is about 10 feet from you.
Ah, fantastic. Okay. I am going to look at her. Hang on, where am I standing?
Do you have the physical copy of the map I gave you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I do. Hang on. So where am I standing on here? What am I next to? Say it out loud as well.
You are, so as I mentioned, Celestia and Scamp now, as well as Fighty, are all near the back of the wagon.
Okay.
Morag is at the front. Corzin is now over by the doors.
Okay.
By the door to the cold storage room.
Cool. I'm going to scrape my nails along the side of the wagon so that it goes... And I'm going to go, not had enough red leaf today, have we, darling? And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level, because fuck it.
Okay.
So that...
brain explode.
Hope so. So that's...
What level of exhaustion is she at right now?
That's a wisdom save, so... I don't know what that does if she is at a level of exhaustion.
Well, it makes a difference. No, she's only got one level of exhaustion, so that's a disadvantage on ability checks, not saves. So
She's
wisdom.
fucking addicted though, isn't she? Jesus.
Oh, that, however, is not a save.
Yay, I'm going to roll damage. So it's 4d6 because it's 2nd level.
Yeah.
Oh, that is shit. No! So that's 9 on 4d6.
Oh.
That is bollocks. I rolled 2 2s and a 1. And a 4, but still.
She kind of blinks blearily, and the bloodshot eyes seem to get a little bit more bloodshot, but she's pretty obviously in this haze, enough that maybe it's blunting the effects. Are there any other effects to Dissonant Whispers beyond damage? If she fails?
No, just damage.
Just damage, cool.
I believe.
I'm thinking of...
there's a discordant melody.
Yeah, but no. I was thinking of the Psychic Whispers.
I mean, it does say a discordant melody happens.
Scoffing words, whatever the cantrip is. That's what I was thinking.
Words.
Cutting words, yeah.
Oh, vicious mockery.
Vicious
Yeah.
mockery.
Yeah.
Cutting words.
Cutting
Nearly.
words. Cutting words is the 4th edition one, I think.
That's a bard ability. A different bard ability.
Campaign one of critical role there, cutting words.
Ah, okay. Over here. Cool. Oh well.
But no. Right. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, bugger it. I'm gonna turn round for a sec, so that Corzin and Scamp and Fighty can see me, and just sort of ruffle my hair up and go, "Come on, bitches!" And I'm gonna do a Mantle of Inspiration. The Rainbow Spirit fluffs out my hair. Bong! 5 temporary hit points, and you can move if you'd like.
Yay!
Yeah, I think I'm going to not be in the same sort of area as you, just spread out a bit.
Yeah, good shout. We are in a convenient little cone right now, aren't we?
Fighty leaps over the wagon so that he's next. So he's on the sort of wagon driver's seat next to Morag.
I'm going to just back away towards the malt. Why not?
Okay.
Awesome.
It's 5. So Fighty's got
It's
extra
a
5.
random direction.
All right, back
Corzin's
towards.
going to stay where he is. He needs to take these 2 down.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so you're next to the malt bin. All right then. So that makes it your go, Scamp.
Right, I'm going to do a thing that I have not done pretty much ever.
How
But there we go.
exciting.
I'm going to use a quicken spell.
Ooh.
2 sorcery points to cast Mage Armor as a bonus action.
Awesome.
You speedily tie that to leather around your horn.
You so need it, though.
And then cast a Phantasmal Force with my action on
Nice.
Morag and make her believe that she is in a burning cage, a metal cage that you can't walk through.
That is
But
scary.
on fire.
Okay, burning metal cage. This is an intelligence save, right?
Yes. An intelligence save initially, and then it's a check after that if she fails
Cool.
it.
So that's just no. That was a 10. Doesn't make it. So she is okay. Now the question is whether Morag is crazy enough to try and break out of a burning metal cage. So, Fighty's
I'm
go.
going to say it's a really strong metal that won't break, so if she wants to try and check whether it's real, she can do that. But the cage is invincible because it ain't real. And I'm not going to let it bend.
Okay. We'll see whether that... we'll see whether anything happens to disavow her of that knowledge.
Yeah, it's a concentration spell.
Such as Fighty attempting to attack through the bars of this cage.
Oh yeah, fair actually.
Can I bend it so he can get in and out?
Yeah, fuck it, why not? It's concentration, so you have ability over. You can do minor changes like that. Okay, so Fighty pretty much Fighty proceeds to rage.
Yay!
Nice.
You see him just kind of, and he is he whips out, pulls the droog from his belt, grabs a pair of tailoring shears, and is just going to wail on Morag best
She
he can.
watched that through the bars of a burning metal cage. That is horrifying.
Yeah.
That is the worst.
I mean, on the one hand, that is terrifying, but it occurs to me, we've never really seen Scamp properly angry. And I'm not sure we ever want to.
No.
Funny
You
enough,
don't
you
see
can't
what-
see what she's seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
true.
don't see
I
the things
don't.
that Scamps creates, so you don't know what's there.
True.
No, that's the thing, is this is out of character
Oh
speculation.
yeah.
Speaking of which, I'd like anyone who wants to make an insight check.
Yeah, go on then.
Done.
Oh yeah.
First one
Always.
hits.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Oh, that's not actually bad for me.
9.
This is 14. Which, as I say, isn't
12
bad for me.
Celestia, you notice that Fighty is moving a lot faster and with a lot more coordination than you've seen in previous fights that he's been in.
Ah, okay.
What's he made himself?
He's sober.
Well, you do notice that he does have a pair of shiny new black gloves.
Ah, cool.
Something made of shadow.
Yeah, shadow gloves.
So those both hit. So Droog damage first. So that's 2. Okay, so 6 and 5 damage respectively. Yeah, not without respect. 11 points of damage to Morag, and Fighty is in a rage. Okay, which brings it to the end of the surprise round. Corzin, you're up first. Now that we're out of the surprise round, attacks with the pistol are made at disadvantage while you're within 5 feet of someone. Until you take like a pistol fighter feat or something.
Yeah, no. He's going to drop the belaying pin for a moment and attempt to just hit both of them with the pommels of his cutlasses rather than the blade parts.
So 1 against Johnny, 1 against Tommy.
Yep, that's
Go
right.
for it.
Okay, that's a 19 against
Hits.
Johnny. Okay, damage.
Damage.
That's can we make it 7 bludgeoning rather than
Yes,
slashing
it
damage?
is. So,
Okay,
cock! Oh, you fucker!
and he goes, go down, damn it! And,
My doodles go down harder than that!
okay, and now for Tommy.
Yep.
Oh, that's 21.
That hits. Roll damage. These guys are not wearing
Okay.
any sort of armor. They are just, just in clothes.
No, that's just a 5. But I am going to I'm not going to use Hunter's Mark. I'm going to use Slayer's Prey.
This
which
is
allows
a
me to do an
bonus.
extra.
If this is a bonus action, then you use as a bonus action to use your second attack. Don't forget.
Just says. Oh no, it's a bonus action. Okay,
Yep.
fine.
Don't-
Yep. Okay.
Oh, normally Xanathos
Erase that.
Yeah, but you try and clock Tommy, and he pulls out of the way. Not quite.
Boom.
Yeah.
5 bludgeoning.
Okay, Johnny. Okay, so Tommy's going to pull away from you quickly, because it's his go next, in such a way that you have an opening to try and get another clock in if you want.
Okay.
He's not disengaging.
I'm going to. Natural 1.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, one of your scimitars, as you try and clock him, flies out of your hand and clatters into the corner of the room.
Regent, damn it!
Right. Tommy pulls back. Hey, I gotta see, that was a mistake. He whips up his pistol and he's moved. He moves actually into the corner of the room, so he's right next to the scimitar, and cracks the pistol at you. So that's a pistol shot. 20, dirty 20.
Oh, that hits.
Yeah, he's just 20 feet away from you. So that does get the right die. Okay, that does 8 points of percussive damage.
Oof.
Shot. Johnny, by comparison, draws a long knife from out of his boot. Oh, it's actually quite a short knife, yeah, because it is a halfling-sized boot, but still, and is going to slash at you twice with it. Natural 18. 12. No, 12 doesn't.
No, 12 does not. I parry that one.
Okay, you do take 3 points of slashing damage from the knife.
Arg.
I gotta that you like a fish. Okay, so Bonnie and Lonnie up on the top, seeing what's going on, are going to take shots at Celestia. So Bonnie's in a position to take a shot at Scamp, actually, more easily. No, she's not. Okay, Bonnie.
I'm so sorry, where are Bonnie and Lonnie?
So Bonnie is up near the hops, but on the upper level.
Okay, cool.
She actually runs around a little bit so that she's now over where the racks of empty bottles are, where the beer bottles are stacked, so that she now has line of sight to where Scamp is hiding underneath the walkway near the malt, whereas Lonnie, who is by the boiler, stays where she is and fires at Celestia, who's still by the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Bonnie's shot versus Scamp. That was a natural 2. It's the shot cracks into the malt vat, and there's just like a small crack, just a few grains of malt leak out. The one against Celestia. 12? It's not enough. No, smacks into the wagon, mercifully missing one of the crates full of firearms. Okay,
Let me get off the wagon.
That's almost all of the McDougals. It's because that makes it time for Morag. So, fun fact: consuming potions is a bonus action, and the same goes for drugs. In response to your earlier question of whether she's had enough red leaf, you see her pull a paper twist from out of her jacket, unfold it, and there's a pinkish powder inside. Not yet! And she just snorts the red leaf powder. And you see her eyes grow more bloodshot, and then she pulls the multi-chambered revolver up, and balancing the top of it with her hand, she just immediately launches 3 shots at you. By the way, she takes
I'm gonna die.
she takes psychic damage because she doesn't try to leave the cage.
2 points of psychic damage.
Yep. Doesn't try to leave the cage.
Cool.
Lots
Concentration. I'm going to keep it up for a minute.
So she's going to crack. So she. Oh, fight your thing. I'm going to say 2 shots at. 2 shots at Fighty, 1 shot at Celestia. So Celestia shot
She's
first.
still in melee with fighting, isn't she?
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, she should be.
She is.
Would that not mean that he gets an opportunity attack?
No, it means
If she
that she
doesn't
takes it
move,
with
no.
disadvantage, which means she needs to get out of this cage.
I mean, she doesn't to shoot me.
Yeah, no, but her tactics would be to move. So, intelligence check for her. This is not
if she's looking to see if it's...
This is not a check to see whether the cage is real. This is an intelligence check for her to realise that magic was cast. Okay, with disadvantage, she's going to fire 3 shots at Scamp.
Oh dear.
Because she just saw you mutter shit and a flaming cage appear around her.
You know, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, Scamp.
So, yeah, that's a natural... not natural, that's an unnatural 20. Dirty 20, you are within 40 feet of her. Well, not that it matters, it's a disadvantage anyway.
Yep.
So, with the first shot from the revolver, you take 10 points of percussive damage.
I rolled a 17 for my concentration check.
Okay, next attack.
Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes.
It's a dex save from her, I believe. Yes. Just wants to do that. So.
Love Hellish Rebuke.
I'm just going to scream at her.
Flames. You see, flames seem to lick around the. All of you can see flames seem to lick around what appears to be like the outlines of a cage around her, and then sweep inwards.
Whoa.
That was a
like
failed.
A reverse
Nice.
mushroom
Yeah, that was a
cloud.
failed save, so more damage.
22.
Oh!
I rolled on
Shit.
3d10, 22.
That's
pretty
really
great.
good.
That's pretty
Okay.
damn good, yeah.
Okay, so she's still shot with disadvantage against you. She's rolling high on these. That definitely hits. That was a natural 17. And there are 15 points of percussive damage.
Okay, 11
hell.
on the concentration check, so
Okay,
I'm still...
we're holding the second one. She's
She's
firing the
still up?
third shot.
Yeah, but not looking great.
Okay, cool.
Finally. That was only a 9, so the last one, which is good because the other one was a natural 20. The last shot
Thank you, Fighty.
smashes into the liquor vat instead, and hot liquor begins to just pour in a stream out of the side of it.
Ooh.
However, that is Morag's turn used up. Celestia.
I have a really, really bad idea. Really bad. Fuck it. Right.
Do it.
I turn to
We
more.
had the
Oh,
same
shit.
idea.
Never mind. I'll do it next round. I forgot it, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
Carry on.
I turn to Morag, and I go, I haven't had enough either. And I take my little twisted red leaf out of my pocket, and I snort it.
That was not my idea. Okay.
Okay, snorting it as a bonus action.
Yep.
You have an extra bonus action
Right.
for the
Bad
next
idea.
for the next 10 minutes, and your speed increases by 10 feet.
My speed increases, and I have what?
An extra bonus action for the next.
Extra bonus. That's so good.
Yeah, that's actually probably a little unbalanced considering what the red leaf powder does for Morag, but I'm sticking with it now that I've said it.
No, but also,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come down to deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm going to... Well, I got an extra bonus action with this, surge of speed that I have. I smack my xylophone with my leg, and I do a little ding, and Scamp gets a healing word.
Nice.
Cheers.
And I'm then going to try and...
Listeners, this is holding for this fight, but in future I may nerf this.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to shoot Morag. Because
Okay.
bugger it. So I'm going to get my pistol out and just go... Poof. Actually, am I too near her?
You're about 10 feet away
I'm
from
10
her.
feet. My pistol is 2060.
Yeah, you're fine.
So-
No one else is within
Cool,
is
cool,
in
cool.
meat range with you.
That's alright. So let's have a go. 18?
That hits.
Good.
Yes, that does hit. Roll damage.
Right. And I'll just trying to decide which dice I don't hate. I hate all of them. Help. That one. Okay. Nope, that's not a d4. That is... Sorry, wrong dice.
Mhm.
I'm having a brain fart. Right, there we go. Oh, seriously? Fuck off. That's a 3. I rolled a 1 on a d10.
Oh.
That's
man.
so shit.
But if healing someone with a xylophone is not peak bard, I don't know
I mean,
what
that is
is.
peak bard. Taking drugs and then healing somebody with a xylophone. I don't think we can get
That is
more.
definitely
Yeah.
peak bard.
Bard than
Hashtag
that.
peak bard.
How much healing did I get?
You got... Let me do that. You got 6, so not amazing.
Cheers.
Not
Hat
too
was
bad.
at 3 damage to Morag.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Still up.
I'm gonna blow the smoke away. And then oh god, I mean, is there a better position I can be in? That's a good question. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm not sure there's a worse one.
No, probably not.
I forgot. Sorry.
Whew.
Get some cover.
Yeah, where is cover? Where can I get cover? If I go like... No, that's where they are. Where the fuck can I get cover? I'm gonna go over by the boiler, if I can go that far.
Yeah, you can... so 1, 2, 3, 4... You can just get to the boiler.
Yeah, I'll get
So
to the boiler.
you're underneath the...
Yeah, I've got extra 10 feet because
Yeah,
cocaine.
yeah. Red leaf.
Because red leaf. So I'm going to duck in by the boiler.
Don't know why I'm being quiet. Opium. We're just out and out using opium. Right, okay. Scamp.
Have we previously mentioned to Fighty that we need Morag alive?
We don't.
Nope.
We just need
He doesn't tend to kill people, though.
Yeah, no, he'd probably just
You
beat
have
her into
watched Fighty
unconsciousness.
put his shears through a man's ribcage before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
well.
going to shout to Fighty that we need that one alive. Don't kill her! We need her alive!
Righty ho then!
Good shout.
Then I'm going to twin a first level... where is it? Chromatic orb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make it thunder damage because I feel like that might be able to be made non-lethal if she's at a point where that would be an issue. So twin first level chromatic orb, 1 at Morag, 1 at the person who just shot at me on the thing.
Yep, that'd be Bonnie.
And I'm going to tide to chaos, the 1 at Morag.
Okay. The chaos are active.
21 to hit.
That hits.
And the other one is even more, 23 to hit.
That also hits. Roll damage.
So, thunder damage, and the one against Morag. Ooh, 14.
Okay, nice.
Palpable hit. And against the other person, less good, that's a 9.
Ugh.
Ugh.
9 thunder damage. And then I'm going to back in between the mash and the liquor tanks to try and break line of sight with Morag and her scary gun.
Okay. Yeah, you can move in such a way that you break line of sight. That's fine.
I just don't want her to be able to shoot me.
Yep, that's all right. She does scream, "Cat the wizard!"
Not a wizard!
Do you actually shout that?
Yes.
That's brilliant.
Okay, so that makes it Fighty's go. Fighty is just going to lay into her. How suicidal is Fighty feeling? Not suicidal. He's not going to reckless these. So that's 9 plus... That's not actually enough to hit with the Droog, and the knife flies out of his hand.
Oh, Fighty, no.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
Oh shit! Who's the?
We're just throwing all our weapons around today.
I know.
Fucking butterfingers. Like,
Fires out of his hand, and Celestia, you move to.
I'm near the boiler.
Great. So there's no allies in the way. In which case, it just scales off into the corner, shattering some of the bottles.
If I hadn't moved, though, that would have been really bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Top of the round. It is Corzin time.
Okay. Coulson is going to have a split second where he thinks about going after the cutlass, but in the end, just decides, no, I've got to take this guy next to me down, and he is going to attempt to slice. I think it's Tommy that's still next to him.
It's Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. Okay. He's going to try and hamstring him.
Oh, God. So grim.
Okay, that's going to be a 14 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay. That's 6 slashing damage.
Ooh. Okay, Johnny's still up.
And even though
It's
it's still
tough.
with disadvantage, I'm going to attempt to use my second attack to take out the other pistol that I have and kneecap him in the other knee.
Oh!
Ow.
Okay, so with disadvantage,
Yep.
that's okay. That's still 17.
That hits. Roll damage.
Oh God!
Ooh.
Oh man. So functionally, this guy has got to have had his speed halved by this point.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's lots of damage too. That's 13
Okay,
percussive
Jesus.
damage.
you just shoot out his other kneecap and he collapses. Now just a screaming, bleeding heap on the floor. He is incapacitated, we will say.
Okay.
Corzin says, "I told you to stay down."
Why do people never listen to us?
Stupid
Couldn't take a
fuckers.
Scamp.
Okay, so that makes.
Oh my God.
Okay, so that makes
terrible.
it the McGiggle's turn. At this point, you hear as the two doors by the wagon pull open,
We're gonna
and
die.
the other two
This is the
McDougalls,
end.
Sonny and Honey, who had been waiting out in the stables with the horse, enter, pistols drawn.
So functionally, is this a left-hand door or a right-hand door on the map?
That is the door on the left. Is the big doors?
The big door.
by the
cool,
wagon.
Cool. So Sunny and Honey.
So
Yeah.
Sonny and Honey have just entered, taken stock of the situation. They are immediately going to. They are immediately going to open up on what they see as the person right next to their boss, having only a split second to work out the situation.
Okay.
So.
The doors have got to have opened outwards, right? Otherwise, it'd hit the car.
They do, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, one of those hits Fighty, who takes 8 half to 4 points of damage. He's not even out of the temporary hit points yet. No one's been able to get a shot on them yet. Okay, the others, however, have other priorities. So Lonnie and Bonnie and Tommy all have a clear target to focus on. Lonnie is actually going
I
to.
thought Tommy was hamstrung.
No, Johnny's hamstrung.
Right? I crossed off the
well,
wrong
sorry,
one. Fuck
kneecapped.
you and your names.
Yeah, I know. Okay. No, actually no, because of where you've moved to. Scamp, Lonnie, who is by the boiler on the level directly above where Celestia is, can now see you between the mash and the liquor tons.
But the one on the other side that I was shooting at can't, can they?
Not without.
How tall are these things?
Oh, they're pretty fucking tall. They're like 10
Right.
foot tall at the very least. So
They're
they're
like 4 foot.
yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty effective cover. Yeah, Bonnie, in order to see you, would need to. No, she moves around so that she's now on the stairs just north of where the wagon is. But she doesn't have that much movement, so she can't get to you. She will instead take her shot at Celestia, because she's the one using the magic that she can see thus far. Yep, that's a dirty 20.
On me.
Yep, on you, Celestia, you take 6 points of percussive damage.
Okay, good thing I had opium.
Yep.
Drugs.
So, Lonnie and Tommy, however, are both going to fire at Scamp. Tommy actually does it with disadvantage. Lonnie misses. Nope. So bad luck for Lonnie. And Tommy with disadvantage rolled a natural 17 with disadvantage. So that does hit.
Oh.
You take. That was cocked. Better result on the non-cocked for you on the non-cocked one. That you only take 6 points of damage, but make a concentration check.
Me?
No, Scamp.
Scamp. Cool. Alright, lost track.
Oh no, I've lost it. That was only a 7.
Bollocks.
The entirely illusory flaming cage is dispelled from around Morag. Okay, which makes it Morag's turn. Morag is going to use a bonus action to find her second wind.
Yeah, she's healing.
Yes, she is. She goes back up a number of hit points.
Second wind is so good.
Yeah, she then... nope, she's going to take the hit from Fighty. She backpedals away from Fighty, giving him free attack. Which hits. Fighty does 6 points of damage to her, taking away some of that second wind. But with that, it is enough for her to move freely. So she's got quite a bit of range. She, knowing what's been happening to her, she's going to run around, skims past Fighty so that she's within... She's actually going to go up onto the... As she has a lot of movement. You see her run a good 40 feet up the stairs near the malt tub, directly onto the... up onto the walkway so that she's now has a nice clear line of sight between the mash and liquor tons, and is going to fire 3 shots down at Scamp.
Shit.
So, first shot, and because she has a certain priority, she's going. Okay, so that would have missed. That was only an 11, but she's going to use a special ability. You see her take a moment to line up the shot before she fires, which allows her to add 6 to the damage, to the attack roll.
Oh,
Bloody hell.
So that's a 17, which will hit you.
You still up?
jeez.
Deadeye.
Deadeye.
It's a special ability. You take 16 points of percussive damage.
Down. I'm out.
Oh god.
Yeah. Now that you're down, she's going to turn her attention to Celestia. You're by the boiler. Nope,
Yeah.
she's got a line of sight on you. So she's going to fire her next 2 shots at you then.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 17 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay. You take 8 points of percussive damage.
Cool.
And then her third shot goes as well. Critical hit.
Shit, I'm gonna be down too. Fuck.
That was a 1 on the damage die.
Whew!
You
Good.
take 6 points of percussive
Oh, I'm
damage.
still up.
But
Holy
she's going to use
Jesus.
Deadeye. She has multiple of these per day. So she can add... she adds 1 extra point of damage. She can add 1d10 to either attack or damage.
Okay, so that means I took
You took
7.
7.
Sorry, I forgot how to add 1 to 6.
Yeah, lucky damage
been a long
rolls
day.
there. Okay, yeah. It just seems that the spider gods or possibly a lot of opium is on your side, and maybe a bit of red leaf. You're kind of mixing your uppers and downers here.
Yeah, like I imagine I'm looking at everything through a bit of a haze right now.
Yeah. Although with that, however, you see the last of the 6 chambers seems to have fired.
Good.
She clicks again as if to make a 4th shot, but there's just a... It rotates, but there's nothing else comes out. Ah, shit! Okay, Celestia.
Okay. I mean, I've just been shot, haven't I? So I'm pretty pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna with a bit of like red.
Yeah.
I chewed it, didn't I? It's not
Yeah,
powder. Sorry. I'm gonna spit out the remains of the red leaf.
Your
look at
teeth
more-
have kind of a pinkish colour now.
Yeah. Look at Morag. Go, ah! And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at level 2.
Okay.
You said episode 2.
Nice.
More like
Not
a
tired.
dissonant, it's like dissonant, death metal scream.
Yep.
Natural 20 on the save, so takes half damage.
Fuck off.
Oh.
It's such a good spell. Mixed. Okay, so 8, 9, 11. So
Half
5.
to 5.
Yeah.
She's still up, thanks to that second wind.
Okay, and this is a really good moment for 2 bonus actions. So it's a bonus action to drink a healing potion, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm
so
going
nerfing
to. What was that?
I'm so nerfing this later. Carry on for now.
We'll say it's my first one. So
it's your first one, so
particularly
you're
intense.
just
I've
going to
got
get
no
an extra
tolerance.
rush from this.
So I'm going to down a healing potion. How much healing is a standard healing potion? I forget.
Standard
It's
healing.
like 1d8, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
No. Sorry, no. Standard. It's
2d4
2d4 plus 2. 1d8 was 3rd edition.
So 2d... we used to play 3rd edition. That's where that's from.
Yeah.
So 2d4 plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So that's 8 for me.
Excellent.
So back up to double figures, which is lovely. And then I'm gonna turn to Scamp and just sort of clap my hands, and there's this big, like, you see a little purple flash come from them.
Yeah.
And that's another healing word for Scamp. Let's see, how much do we want to heal? I'm gonna conserve my last level 2 spell for just a little bit and heal you.
Yep.
1d4 plus 5, so that is... Fucking hell, I keep rolling 1s when I heal you, that's 6. But you're up,
Scamp.
so you know.
There is with an inrush of breath, you feel a lead shot pop out of your chest.
Ow!
And
Ooh.
roll 1d100.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh lord.
Oh no!
You have lovely timing.
Thank you.
68.
Okay. Oh, come on. I'm just working out mechanically distances.
By the way, I would like
Yeah,
to move as
no.
well in a minute.
Sorry?
I would like to move as well in a minute.
Okay, you want to
Do you
move
think
them as
this-
well? I'm going to say it is at the moment she wakes up. Sorry,
That's fine,
they wake
yeah,
up. They wake up. Mr. Anything here, Robbie. So yeah, the moment they wake up, so the nearest figure is just Morag because she's standing directly above her, and you're just more than 10 feet away. So you are frightened by Morag until the
So unhelpful.
until the end of your next turn, Scamp.
Okay. Which is about to happen. Isn't
Which is about to happen. But Celestia, you're going to move.
Yeah, I'm just going to move to the other side of the boiler
Okay.
so that I'm like, I can duck in by that wall. and
Okay.
try and
Okay.
get
So
some
yeah,
cover
you're
from
you're
Morag,
right in
basically.
that corner. Got it.
Yeah.
That was inconvenient. It could have been
It
disastrous.
really
Yeah. Okay, Scamp. Over to you.
it? Right.
You are.
So
Yeah.
while she's
So.
in line of sight, the
Yep.
effects happen, isn't it?
While she's so you've disadvantaged on ability checks and attacks while the source of your fear is within line of sight. You cannot willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
Okay.
You just look up, and this woman who has just shot you repeatedly, eyes bloody and red, is just fucking terrifying.
Oh boy. I think I'm going to have to move so that I can't see her. That seems like the logical thing to do.
Yep. You just want to get out of her out of her range of shot.
So, what are these barrel-y things to the right of the brew?
So those are fermenting vessels. They're about 5 foot tall, so they're just enough that you could hide behind one.
Can I go and dash behind one of those?
Yep. They're within easy. Yeah, you can get there with your movement. So you duck behind them.
Who can I see from here?
Okay, assuming that you're crouched in such a way as to avoid, which provides you cover, that you can just about make out. So you can just about make out Tommy. You can't see Sunny or Honey because they're hidden by the huge mash vat by comparison.
Those the ones that just came in.
Yeah,
They're by the door and they're fighty, aren't they?
Yeah. And you can just no. Actually, no. You can't even see. You can't even see Lonnie, who's over by the boiler, because looking at the way. Oh no! Actually, you can just see Lonnie if you're very careful about where you see. So yeah, you can just make out Tommy and Lonnie.
Lonnie's by the boiler on top,
on the
isn't
top.
she?
Yeah. Do they have cover, or are they just like clear?
They have cover because you have cover. Like they're like functionally because. Actually, that's not how it works. No, because you're no. Tommy has cover because he's behind some stairs. Lonnie just about doesn't.
Sorry, let's try twinning it again then. We'll use my last sorcery point.
Okay.
Twin a first level chromatic orb. Cool. So against Tommy, I was half going to do Tides of Chaos and I didn't, and that's a 1.
Oh
Bollocks.
no. The person near top. Fuck. That means. Yeah, no, that's.
Corzin, isn't it?
That's Corzin. Nearest person to Tommy.
And the other one is a lot, 20 something.
Yeah, so roll
25.
damage for Corzin first.
I'm sorry. And what damage am I going to do? I'll stick to thunder damage because I hadn't really thought about it. 13.
Corzin, you take 13 points of thunder damage and are smacked against the wall.
Sorry. And the other one, 11 on the other person.
Okay. He takes 11 points of damage. Alright.
And I'm going to down a healing potion.
Okay.
Good.
4 plus 2. That makes it Fighties go.
Ooh, good and bad.
Okay. Fighty moves into melee with Honey and Sunny and is, under the circumstance, going reckless. So, Droog... Oh, I forget he actually gets... Yeah. Against Honey first. I have been doing this wrong. He gets 3 attacks. He's level 5 now, not level 4. Shit.
So good.
Fighty's a higher level than us?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fighty is just a
Kind
little
of
bit
makes
higher.
sense.
Yeah.
He is
but,
really hardcore. I buy that.
Yeah, no, I totally buy that.
I also get the distinct impression he's lived a lot longer than any of us.
Probably.
So that hits.
Totally lives a lot more.
That hits. So that's 2 against Sunny with the Droog. So 6. 12 points of damage to Sunny. And then to Honey. Still hits. Because that was with advantage, not disadvantage. And Honey takes 9. Okay, he just thwack twice with the Droog, and then just pulling another knife from another of the shears, a different sort of set of shears from his belt, proceeds to just stab Honey, just in the side of the pelvis. So it bounds off the bone. Okay,
Wow.
Corzin.
Was I blasted off my
No,
feet
you
by
were
that?
smacked into the wall, but regain your footing.
Alright, that was unhelpful. Presumably Tommy's still
Yeah, Tommy's still...
next to me.
Actually, he's not next to you, but he's within 20 feet of you, in the corner of the room.
Okay. Do I have the opportunity to try and retrieve my other cutlass without provoking an opportunity
It
attack?
won't provoke an opportunity attack, but I'm going to say it will cost you a bonus action.
Okay, I'm not going to do that for now. I am just going to go up to him and try and clock him over the head again, take him down.
Okay, go for it.
Why are you trying to keep him alive?
Well,
I mean, that's what Corzin wants to do. Fine.
Not a terrible
yeah.
person, I suppose.
Fellow halflings.
okay, that's 21 to
That
hit.
hits, roll damage.
Okay, that's was 5 bludgeoning.
Okay.
But I mean, I do have the other attack, so why not? That is 22. Okay,
Okay.
that's a further 8 damage.
Okay, so that's 13 total. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay then. Tommy is thwacked once with the butt of the scimitar, once essentially just pistol whipped. With the pistol in your other hand.
he'd have reversed it and is now just using the hilt or the handle as a
Son of a bitch. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Technically, if you're using the pistol as if you're using a pistol as a melee weapon, that should really do D4 damage.
I was going to say that though, for flavour's sake.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can just be doing it with the the hilt of the cutlass and then the hand guard, sort of like clock down and then
but
the
mechanically the thing is your extra attack comes from your offhand weapon.
Oh, I see. Okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do then.
Okay.
I am going to the cutlass that I still have is in my my left hand. Corzin is right-handed. The cutlass that he lost was in his right hand. He is going to run up to him, clock him with his offhand, make to slash around again, drop it, and catch it with his other hand and clock him again in the face.
Okay, that was cool enough, I'll allow it, but next time, get a weapon in your other hand.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so, McDougal time.
Oh dear.
Tommy slips his he spins his pistol and sheathes his, puts his fist up and says, "Okay, that way you want to do it then. Fine." And he's going to just do 2 quick jabs and try it and punch your lights out. So that's 15.
15 just hits me.
Okay, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage because Tommy is actually a prize fighter.
Oh dear.
And that was a natural 17. So you take another 4 points of bludgeoning damage as he just punches you twice in the jaw, one from either side.
Oh.
Turns out his left hook is as good as his right.
Ouch.
Okay, the other McDougals, Sunny and Honey, seeing the bullshit that has just turned up in front of them, are both going to split, provoke it, and hope. And I'm going to say fighter takes the attack against Sunny, still with advantage because he's still reckless. And yep, that hits. Does another 8 points of damage to Honey. But they split and they run up the stairs either side, so that they're now both at the top of the stairs, either side of the wagon, turn and both fire down at Fighty with advantage.
Oh dear.
Yes. Crit.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
So first shot against Fighty does 9 half to 5 damage. Go. Second one is 12 half to 6 damage.
Is Fighty still up?
Fighty's still fine.
Good.
Fighty can get through a lot of shit.
He's raging.
Yeah, he's
Everything's
raging.
halved.
Everything's halved. Yeah, he's Fighty. Like just like, come on, you call those gunshots? I've had worse than that. So that's Sunny and Lonnie taken up. Tommy has just punched you. Bonnie is going to take a shot at Fighty as well because she's also on the stairs. I'm just going to move back up towards the bottles a little bit. Again, hitting. Doing another 11 half to 5 points of damage. Fighty's still up. And fine, as far as you can tell. Barely bloodied. Just seems to be able to take it. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. He doesn't seem to be slowing or anything. However, Lonnie is going to run along so that she's directly over where Scamp is.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and fires down, fish in a barrel style. Natural 16, that hits. Scamp,
We're going to die.
you take 5 points of percussive damage. Okay. Morag will action surge. Reload her revolver.
Boy.
And now attack with it.
Oh dear.
Okay, so no, Morag clearly has a thing about magic users. So this time she's going to prioritize Celestia first because actually no, she's not. You're behind the boiler. Okay, Morag is going to make an acrobatics check because she is a crazy. She is a one crazy bitch, and leaps to the ground. Oh, fuck! Takes 2 points of damage. Picks herself back up.
Oh, that would have been wonderful if she passed out.
That would have been so good.
And using her remaining 20 feet, gets into a position where she can just see. So she's near the boiler, she can just see Celestia and Scamp. Scamp, you have cover, so your armor class is 2 higher. And is going to fire off some shots. First shot at Celestia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Oh god, no, he's making noises.
Oh shit.
The revolver misfires, and all of the powder shots blast away.
Does she have a hand afterwards?
She has a hand. It's covered in burn marks, but more importantly, 6 wildly firing bullets fly out of the gun. 3 of which land smack in her own chest. One of which, two of which just smack holes in the brew tun, which begins to pour out beer onto the floor, and the last of which smacks into the boiler. And now just a gout of loose flame comes out from where the coal was burning underneath, making that whole area a little treacherous. She herself is thrown back into the mash tun, smacks, and slumps to the ground unconscious. She took 16 points of damage from the misfire and had exactly 16 left.
That was a stroke of luck. Oh, I've just realised I've been doing Dissonant Whispers wrong. If they don't save, they also have to run away. I'll remember that next time.
Yes,
I'm
that's
saying
what I was
it out loud,
asking.
so
I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, that's fine.
Is she dying, bleeding out, or just unconscious?
She is bleeding out at this point. You would say.
Okay, so we've got 3 rounds to stay.
You got 3, yeah. So Morag is. She is out ragdolled next to the mash tun at this point. There's actually a halfling-sized dent where she's struck it. Well, that's her turn, Celestia.
Well, that happened. Right. Trying to work out distances for something. Honey, Sunny and Bonnie, how close are they to each other? They are just like over 20 feet?
Just over 20 feet. Sunny and Bonnie are within 10 feet of each other.
Yeah. Probably not worth it.
But Sunny and Lonnie are just about... I mean, Sunny and Honey are exactly 20 feet from each other. Fighty's in the middle of that particular one, although he's a level down.
Sunny and Honey are exactly 20 feet around. I thought Bonnie was like next to Sunny.
Bonnie is next to Sunny, but she's north of where Sunny is. Honey is
Why are you like this?
side.
Why have you named everybody this bullshit? This is making this fight so hard.
I did not think of that when I named these characters.
You made an entire world, yet you couldn't plan ahead to think that it would maybe be hard if we have 5 fucking people with names that sound the same.
Actually, no wisdom.
Yes, Sunny and Honey are within 20 feet of each other.
Okay.
But Bonnie is 30 feet from Honey.
Right, my head hurts. Fuck's sake.
The important thing is you can catch Sunny and Honey or Sunny and Bonnie.
Okay. Who looks injured out of them? Is anyone injured? Are any of them
Sunny
injured?
and Honey look injured.
Right. God, I don't know at this point.
Somebody with a name ending in a Y.
Somebody. Oh,
yeah,
God.
you can catch the 2 injured ones within the same 20-foot square.
Right. But fuck it, I can only do it once a day. I'm gonna reach over my back, do a little wow along my guitar neck, and the load of light's gonna fly out the end. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on Sunny and Honey, because I think we could do with some advantage, to be perfectly honest.
Yep.
They are now outlined... Oh, well, actually, save some throws for them. They are now outlined in glimmering purple lights.
Yeah, is everybody up?
All of your party are up.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Corzin and go on, you can hit him harder than that, and I'm gonna give Corzin inspiration.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna turn to Scamp and go, make them see some weird shit, and I'm gonna give Scamp inspiration as well.
Oh, double bonus action.
Thumbs up.
I'm so nervous later.
Okay.
Again, getting red leaf out my teeth.
Yeah, it's just strands of it caught in between
it's creepy. It's horrible.
Okay, so that makes it Scamp's go.
Okay. I guess I'll attempt to hit one of the 2 that are now glowing purple. Which I guess can I see them both equally well as the one that's... If I move out a bit, can I see them both properly?
Yes, you'll need to move all the way out so that you're out of the if you go head north so that you're near the eastern set of stairs.
Okay, and I will... Either of them are looking more injured than the other, or just...
Between Sunny and Honey? Sunny definitely more than Honey. She is...
Okay, I will first level Chromatic Orb at Sunny.
Okay.
This is my last one of those. Wow. That's an 11.
Nice.
That is enough to hit. She's not wearing any armour. And she's not as
That's
fast...
with advantage.
Yeah,
That
she's
was
not
bollocks
as
with
hopped
advantage.
up as as Morag was.
That is 11 damage as well.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm going to go for something different than thunder because it's too noisy. I'm just going to go for lightning at this point.
Okay, as you strike her with a blast of lightning, she is struck, she is smacked against the wall, and with a sizzling blackened, circle around her chest, and she just slumps to the ground.
Oops, sorry. And I'm going to duck back into my barrels.
Okay, Sunny is out of the game. Alright, that makes it Fighty's go. Fighty is going to go after Honey then. So he goes the opposite way down, towards the malt vat.
Mm-hmm.
And... Solid! Reckless! Actually, no, he doesn't need to. She's perfectly normal. So, that hits. First hit. Second hit hits. Third hit hits. Okay, so... So 5, 7, 19. Okay. Honey is somehow still up despite getting smacked twice in the face by the Droog and shivved in the gut. Yeah, these... You can see how maybe you can see how these guys have managed to keep a stranglehold on the criminal underworld in this area.
They're tough motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They really are.
Okay, that makes it your go, Corzin.
Okay, question. Is the cockatrice venom that I have in a little vial that if I were to break it over somebody would take effect?
You know that it requires an open wound to get into. So I guess if you make it...
Tommy
He
has
has several open wounds, so if you do this as an attack roll, and I'll allow you to do it against his AC to kind of smack it into an open wound.
So good if it works.
Okay, I'm going to do this again. Feel free to shoot me down on this one. I'm going to treat the vial, which I will get out of my pack, as my offhand weapon.
Okay.
It's an improvised weapon.
That's fine. So, yeah.
But yeah,
so
okay.
it's-
So, making a regular attack. That's
Hits.
15. Okay, so
This is one of damage. Yep.
8 slashing damage, opening a wound for me.
Okay.
I guess, what would this be? Would this be strength-based? I'm like...
Either strength or dex, your choice, really, I'd say, with this.
Dex,
But
definitely.
no proficiency.
Okay, so it is just +4.
Okay.
Okay. 14.
That hits! You
Yes!
smash the vial,
Slash,
and this
smash.
grey ooze just splatters into the wound. Okay, so it's a constitution save.
I'm not sure how many of those I've got left, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a natural 19.
Bugger. That would have been so
It seems
good.
like just
Damn
like you
it.
see a little bit of the wound turn white and crumble a bit, but it looks like not enough managed to get in.
Balls.
Does sometimes just happen.
Fair
Okay.
enough. I still did damage.
So that makes it Tommy's turn. Tommy's going to stretch out his arm. Oh, you fucker! And is going to just Marquis of Queensbury this.
Oh.
So, nope, 11 doesn't hit.
Nope.
17 does. So, the first
It does.
jab, you duck out of the way, but it just leaves you open for the second one. And he just, kind of like, just smacks you with the side of his fist. Like, it's like he's gone, like, almost doing like a bit of a karate chop. It's not quite as effective as just a simple punch would have been, however. And you only take three points of
Corzin
damage.
spits out a tooth.
Oh!
Oh dear.
Fortunately, in the world of Calcinea, a carefully reapplied tooth, a tooth that's carefully reinserted with a dose of healing, with a bit of healing potion, can actually be reattached.
Fun.
Just don't gargle
Just
with
don't
it.
gargle with it. Okay, so that's Tommy's go. Lonnie.
How much damage?
3.
3, okay.
Okay. Honey just goes, oh, fuck! And she is just going to, she's going to disengage from Fighty and runs out the double doors.
Shit.
So she's about 15 feet out the double doors, running into the stables as you hear Lonnie shout, "Honey, come back, you coward! This is the last of this!" And is going to fire down at the person who has been launching just balls of fucking energy. It's like, "You made my sister's gun explode! I'll kill you!"
Okay, that wasn't me.
15?
Oh, that is my armor class.
Bollocks.
Okay, you take...
Unless I've got any cover from this one, I don't think I do.
No, you had to move out of cover. 10 points of percussive damage.
I did move back into cover, but
Did you?
I'm down.
Okay,
Yeah, I moved out and back in.
then it strikes one
But
of the...
I don't know where they are.
No,
so
it's fine. She is still above you, so... No, there's enough cover that you can protect. So no, that misses then. It cracks into one of the barrels. It would have hit you if you hadn't been taking cover.
Good, then I'm not unconscious.
Good. Bonnie, however, has been making her run across and is... Yeah... She is just she runs all the way along, so she's now again on the top walkway near where the hops are, but she can't see you if you're hiding back under the barrels. So she's going to take a shot at Celestia instead. Which was a natural 17, so that hits.
Definitely hits.
Celestia, you take 10 points of damage instead.
Woohoo! A whole hit point. Lucky me. Celestia's looking bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Hits her in the shoulder and she half careens into the boiler,
Yep.
bleeding a lot.
Okay, so that makes it Celestia's go. Because Morag is... Morag? Fails death saving throw.
Bye.
Oh yeah, we should probably do something about that.
So, which one just shot me?
The one that just shot you is Bonnie. She is on top near the hop. She's near the hops
Good to
vat on the walkway.
First, I'm gonna naturally. I'm gonna go. For fuck's sake, under my breath, and I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself. So I will roll that. Yay! First Healing Word that's been more than one fucking hit point. Good. Okay, double figures. Lovely. So that's done. And then I'm going to look up at Bonnie and I'm going to take out the flintlock pistol and I'm going to shoot her. I think I'm going to go forwards a bit first though because I think I have to be within 20. So
okay, you hustle forwards into the centre of the room and fire up at her.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. That's a 22.
Oh, that hits. Roll damage.
Come on, let's kill her. So that's 10. No,
Okay.
that's 8. Sorry, I can't do maths.
Okay. Crack. Strikes her in the shoulder. Ah, fuck. What can I get you for that?
Fuck you.
But that's it. Okay. She's...
Anyone else dying? Anyone else looking really bad in the party?
I got. Well,
Don't tell me how many you have.
I
Just tell me
couldn't tell
how bad you're looking.
Corzin's looking pretty rough.
Okay.
I don't think I could take
Like,
more
not
than one
on
hit.
death's door, but pretty rough.
I mean, that shot would have taken me down.
Okay. I'm gonna look between Scamp and Corzin for a moment, cartoon-like, and try and decide who's bleeding more, and go for Scamp. So.
You're probably correct.
So I'm gonna again do a little hand clap and you get a wave of purple energy and you get a healing word. So I'm going to roll that. Where's my d4s? There's my d4. Oh good. You get 9.
Thank you.
What word do you use to heal?
It's a clap.
It's a clap. It's a bard heal.
Oh,
Healing clap.
Oh my god, my healing words haven't been words for ages. They usually xylophone.
okay.
Okay. Scamp.
Right. One of them's trying to leave, aren't they? One of them's coming out the door.
Yep. That'd be
Yeah.
Honey. Honey is running out the door.
Was she one of the ones that was verified?
Yes. She is indeed verified. Still lit with an
Right.
obvious purple glow.
Let's not let her fetch people, just in case that's what she's doing. So I will. I've run out of first level spells. This is going to be a second level chromatic orb.
Okay.
Excellent.
Tides is dormant, so that you're aware.
Yeah,
Not that it would help in this situation because she's already verified, but
yeah. So that's going to hit. That's 25.
roll damage.
I'm going to use fire. She's outside.
Okay.
It's silent.
Nice.
18.
The fire is silent, but the screams are not.
Oh dear.
And she falls into a burning, screaming heap on the floor.
Good.
Honey is
Goodbye.
out of the fight.
Is there anywhere I can get any cover? Having come out far enough to see her.
Yeah, you can just duck straight back into the cover you were in.
I will
Oh,
do
shit.
that.
I did not move back into cover. That was a bad
Nope.
move. I forgot.
Okay,
Oh,
fighty.
well.
In her nature to be hidden.
Yeah,
It's not,
Not
Celestia
really,
Stardust.
no.
fighty. Fighty is fighty high enough level to benefit from barbarian move speed increases. Let me just strictly check.
I think
Probably,
he is.
yeah,
I think it
yeah.
starts-
So, yeah.
I think it's only small at the start, but it does start.
Yeah,
You get, like,
'cause
10
it's-
foot or something?
Oh no, he's exactly fast enough to get the fast movement. So it's in 10 feet extra, so 35 feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite fast enough to get it that way. So instead, thank goodness he gets advantage on these. He's going to make an athletics check. He leaps, just catches the end of the walkway next to where Bonnie is, pulls himself up
That's
and
very cool.
using the droog for support, and then proceeds to. He's got the and having dropped one of his knives along the way, he unhooks from under his coat a bullwhip.
Ooh.
Reaches forward and crack He's going to use it. This is reckless to get hold to. Okay, he attacks Lonnie. It hits, doesn't do damage. Instead, opposed athletics check.
Oh,
16 and hers. He pulls the pistol out of her hand and flings it across the room.
Oh, he has gone full Indiana.
Do I see that from where
You
I
do.
am? Okay. Alright, I'm fine. Good.
Cool.
You see Celestia shake her head for a second.
He then runs right up to her and proceeds to droog her twice.
Actually, what did we
With
decide the
great
DC
effect.
was on that?
15.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Cool.
Like, I have to get a 15, or
yeah.
I have to get
Yeah,
above 15.
get.
That was exactly 15, so we're all good.
Okay, so 7 and 6.
Only because of my new waistcoat was that fine, but
Okay, Bonnie is smacked repeatedly with the droog. She is not looking happy, but she is still up, although now very disarmed. She's on the. She's now just stood on the walkway by the hops. By the hops vat with Fighty, hands empty. Corzin, you are on the ground, currently engaged in fisticuffs with Tommy.
Yeah. How's he looking? by the way?
About as well as you are.
All right. I'm gonna reach back into my pack, and do I have any of the Chul venom?
Yeah, you got
whacking
3
out all the
of
fucking
those.
potions today.
Although, hang on, don't I have to apply that to a blade?
Yes, but because it does injury damage, so I guess much like this, you've opened up a wound, so you could try and smash it in.
Okay.
Like applying it to a blade is a much more efficient way of applying the venom. The paralytic. But
Actually, no, I'll hold on to that because he's not the only one who's still up. Okay. I am going to attack him, though. Oh, that's a 10 to hit.
Just not enough. You try and catch him with the pommel, but he pulls out of the way with those boxer's reflexes.
Are you still inspired?
God damn it.
Oh,
yes!
you are inspired.
Actually, I'm going to use
Okay.
the inspiration.
Pulls out
11!
of the way, but just feeling the rush of urgency from Celestia's confirmation that you have this, you just pull your fist around a little bit quicker and clock him in the temple.
Nice!
Oh.
Okay. Thank you! Right. Okay, that's 8 bludgeoning.
Oh, nice. Not quite enough to drop him, but nice. You can see he's now looking very woozy. Oh, knock him out. Oh.
Forgot what round it is.
He says, he lifts his hands back up into a kind of unsteady guard right near his face. Says, only round that matters. Knockout round. And he's going to take 2 jabs back at you.
Okay.
He's a nutter.
He
He is a fucking nutter.
overextends. You can take an attack of opportunity if you want. Because that was a natural
Oh,
one.
hell yes. God damn it, that's another 10.
Not quite enough. As he lunges forwards, making it perfect for you to try and reap him in the leg with your foot, but you just don't quite manage it. He stumbles to the side and takes another jab at you. But this one you're prepared for. You pull back out of the way. Looks like this fist fight's not over yet. Okay. Lonnie is still in a position to just coldly fire down at Scamp. He does have cover.
And isn't she in melee with
Nope, that's Bonnie.
Fighty? Oh, it's Bonnie. There's too many of them.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you like
I've lost
this?
track. I have actually lost track of how many of them
Yeah,
there
you
are.
take 6
There
points.
are
You
3
take 6
left.
points of damage. There are 3 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bonnie,
Tom-
Lonnie, and Tommy.
Tommy's in a fist fight with Corzin. Bonnie's in a knife whip fight with Fighty.
And they're top left.
Yep, and Lonnie is just coldly firing down at you. Lonnie's a cast iron bitch. But yeah. 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, that wasn't 5, that was 6. My apologies. Okay, you're still up, so that makes it Celestia's... Oh, no, wait, one moment. Morag succeeds on the death saving throw. Celestia.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Lonnie isn't damaged at all, is she?
She's a little roughed up from a thunderblast, but otherwise pretty together.
Okay, I might try and get some damage in on her, I think. So... Whew, what am I gonna do? Fucking hell. I'm going to... I'm gonna look up at her and go, what are you doing hiding up there in the fucking rafters, you little coward? And while I'm saying it, I'm gonna scrape my nails down the nearest thing, which I believe is the brew.
Yep.
And
I can hear that and it hurts.
and
No,
I'm gonna do a second level dissonant whispers because let's
She
get
saves.
rid of some people. Damn it. I swear they always fucking say it's a good roll though. So 9, 14, 15.
Okay. After 7, but still effective.
And she saved.
Yeah.
Never mind.
She shakes her head a little, and you see just like a couple of specks of blood come out her nose.
Oh god, is there anything
You ate
else?
your tongue. She says to you. As she's reloading her flintlock, jamming the powder down.
God, I'm literally like out of spells now. I don't know if I can do anything else with a bonus action.
Quite possibly not.
Don't think I can. I think I'm just gonna try and take some cover. Actually,
yes.
I think I'm gonna
Okay.
go over to the bottom right-hand corner.
Okay, you're now
Near all the
ducking
barrels.
behind the barrels with Scamp.
Yeah.
Okay, Scamp, what do you do?
Where is Morag?
Morag is by the mashed tun.
Can I get to her?
Yes, you have enough movement.
But
Do not make her
do I
conscious.
know how to stabilise people?
You can make an untrained medicine check.
Okay, well I guess that's what we're doing. And I will get to her and I will try and stabilise her
Okay.
and use Tides of Chaos. Oh no, that's not going to work. That's a 7.
Oh shit!
You have no idea what you're doing.
You prod her a bit.
You get here, you think like, okay, all of the stuff I've seen Corzin do in the ship's the ship's medical bay. All the time I've seen him use the tools, and well, shit. I have not the
Is
slightest.
that all my movement?
You got like 10 feet of movement left.
Is there anywhere I can get cover from that?
You can hide behind the liquor tun.
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
Yeah. Okay. You are.
Red stuff's supposed to stay on the inside.
You're fully.
But it's not staying in!
Okay. Behind the liquor tun, you're actually obscured from everyone, which is nice. Okay. Fighty. Yep. Okay, Fighty. I've mentioned Fighty pulls the Droog behind Bonnie's neck, grabs it with his other hand, and uses it to pull her forward. So he knocks her in the forehead, and as she's woozy, he just grabs her by the shoulders and shoves her over the edge of the walkway into the hops vat. You just see.
I was so
brilliant.
waiting for someone to fall in on one of those. I'm so glad someone
Yeah, I really wanted that to happen.
You just hear a
did. I did not have the
smack.
strength to try.
No, me neither.
The hops flowers blossom up into the air. For
So
a
is she
moment.
down as well now?
She is down as well.
Cracking.
Okay. Bonnie is out of the game there, and that was, I think, Fighty is going to use the remainder of his movement to run so that he's down at the bottom of the steps on the other side. Actually, no, fuck it. Fighty's going to jump. Fighty jumps. Oh, that hurt my knees. Rubs his knees a little, gets up, and is able to get into position to be next to... Again, no. He's able to get into... He's able to run along so that he's at the... so that he's between... No, he can actually get to the boiler, so which he does. Mm-hmm. And last thing he's going to do is he's going to take the whip crack up and try and get hold and make an attack roll against Lonnie, which succeeds. And opposed athletics and acrobatics check. The whip coils around her leg and he yanks. Lonnie falls off the walkway and smacks down right next to where Celestia is hiding.
Yes, good.
Also takes 4 points of falling damage.
Not that I'm good in melee or anything, but still, she's not.
You have a sword.
I do have a sword. I do have.
She is actually prone. So, Corzin, top of the round.
Okay. Is this? I'm getting the impression this guy's a bit of a chunkily built bruiser.
Oh yeah. For halfling standards.
He's probably got a good half.
Somehow, during the course of this fight, you're not sure how. He's shrugged his coat off, and he's wearing just a sleeveless vest that exposes his thick, muscly arms. He's the redhead with the least hair on top as well. So he's almost entirely bald. There's just a little bit of a thin hair.
Crow's nest.
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay.
And you can see his ripped muscles are just sweating. They're glistening in the light of the occasional fires that are now bursting out of the boiler.
Right, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him because fuck it.
Okay, you focus in.
Alright, that's 17 to hit.
Roll damage with Hunter's Mark.
Alright. Okay, that's 5 regular damage. And Hunter's Mark. That's another 5, so 10.
How
total.
would you like to take Tommy down?
Oh yes, he needs to die.
I'm standing next to the I'm standing next to the cart. Right?
You're actually no. You're in the corner of the room by this stairwell. So, yeah.
Okay. Corzin is gonna take one step back, launch himself off the stairwell, and with the flat of his blade, bring it down on the crown of his head. Whack!
Okay.
And as he falls over, he goes, "And that, my friend, is a lesson in the low center of gravity."
Tommy is out for the count.
Thank fuck for that.
Nice.
He was the worst.
Right. Lonnie picks herself up. Oh. Shit. She draws a knife and is going to just try and shiv you repeatedly, Celestia.
Fair.
No. And no.
Yes. Good.
Shit. Celestia, it's
You're
your go.
crap aim, I say, and I pull out my rapier and do an unnecessary flourish and go for it. Because I'm never in melee with people, so fuck it. Oh, that's a 1. That's an actual 1.
Roll damage.
Balls. So hang on, where's my d8s? 4.
Half to 2. What's wrong? Your aim on that thing? You stab Fighty, who happens to be who's
shit.
there as well.
Sorry.
Okay.
Not
Sorry.
good with a rapier.
Well, that's 3 people who have had a weapon mishap this time.
Yeah.
This time round.
Any other actions from your part?
I have 1 inspiration left and nothing else. Not really, actually.
Okay. Scamp then.
Have you Did you skip over Morag?
Shit, I did. Morag saves again.
Okay. If she saves 3 times, she's stable but unconscious, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh dear, oh dear. How many of the buggers is there left? I've
One.
lost track again. Is it 2?
One. It's just
One.
Lonnie
One.
now.
Okay, well then
Yeah.
I will try and stabilise this person because
Okay.
there are other people around.
Yeah.
So I go back to her, I try to stabilise it. I'm still inspired.
You are.
That's
You are.
a D6.
Yeah.
That's 10.
You're trying to wrap up these wounds, but the blood, the bullet wounds won't stop bleeding.
Corzin! That stuff's not staying in!
A little busy at the moment.
Okay, I guess Fighty then is. Yep. Okay, yeah. Fighty just takes the droog and backhands Lonnie across the back of the skull, and
Oh, good.
she is out cold.
That's all of them.
Corzin, you are able to, Corzin, it's your go.
Okay. Is there anybody other than Morag who looks like they're in danger of bleeding out? or
You
dying?
can't currently check on Bonnie's condition, but Sunny and Honey have. Sunny has an electrical burns around her chest, and Honey is on fire.
Sorry.
And he's also like outside, and we could really
Outside on fire.
bring her in.
Crackling merrily, it would have probably. Okay,
Sorcery
right now
does
I'm
not
gonna
do well with non-lethal damage.
I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna beat the flames
Okay.
out. But after that, I'm just gonna do a cursory inspection and make sure she's
Okay,
not
so
actually
that's the
dead.
first check is against Honey. Give me a medicine check.
Okay, medicine. I'm gonna re-roll that because I'm lucky.
Yep.
Yay, good.
That was a natural one.
You remember?
Oh, and thank fuck, Sunny is is
You rolled one of those earlier and you didn't. Never mind.
Yeah, I did. Nope, I didn't declare it.
Oh.
Beck. Never mind, but that was not very much better. I've got a total of 6 now.
Okay. 6.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another check for Honey. Okay, you can roll again. Honey is on the verge of death. You pat the flames out, but she needs immediate medical attention.
What about? Are we still in the
gonna
round?
use
Yeah,
my
we're
healer's
still in
kit.
rounds.
What about Morag then? If we're back to
Morag has stabilised. It seems that
Okay.
enough repeated, just like bandaging and stuff, seems to be able to stop the wounds. At least there's not the bleeding is stopped. Ish has been staunched. You reckon Corzin might want to take a look at this later, but
yeah.
Yeah.
she's not in immediate risk of dying right now. Just in case, everybody make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh,
2.
5.
8.
Corzin, as you're busy taking care of Honey, you look up and you can see Sunny, who seems to have, like, somehow managed to wake up after the electrical burns in her chest, is dragging herself out the back door and trying to slump off
leaving.
into the night.
Okay, I point her out to the others. Don't let her get away!
Who wants to take any action against Sunny?
I mean, are we still in rounds?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not?
So I guess no. At this point, like you can now act simultaneously.
Okay, cool. I would like to go around, drag Sunny in, and start tying everybody up.
Okay, Sunny is up on 1 hit point. So like, do you want to just try and wrestle her to the ground?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Rugby tackle.
Oh, that's really good. 21.
Oh,
Do they have rugby in the
okay, that's good enough. She got a 20 on acrobatics, so
Oh.
she's slippery, but you just managed to get her down. You just grab her by the head and conk straight down, and she's just out like a light.
Okay.
Tie her back up.
Yeah. I tie her up and I drag her in.
Yeah. Okay. Corzin, because Honey did not. Okay, actually, you know what? She's really on the verge. Give me one more medicine check. It's all going to come down to this.
Okay,
'Cause-
come on.
yeah.
Can I use my healer's kit? In
Yes,
order to try
yes,
and
you are.
stabilise
So
her?
that gives you advantage.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was a 19 on the
Okay.
dice, so that's a 23.
She's on the verge of death, but working like a madman. You're just about able to keep her from crossing over into that dark veil. She was on
Okay.
2 failed death saving throws.
Ooh.
No, okay, she's probably got 3rd-degree
Oh,
burns
yeah.
over most of her body.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And yeah, I'm going around systematically tying everybody up.
Okay, it takes a bit of work to fish Bonnie out. Bonnie is unconscious but not dying. And you do end up with a posse of. You end up like Fighty wanders over to Tommy, who is still screaming on the ground after being double kneecapped, and just cold clocks him.
Nice.
Just to shut the screaming up more than anything else.
Thank you, that was very loud, I say to him.
That's quite alright. You gotta know just where to hit a man to avoid doing permanent damage when you knock him out.
Big skill, I feel.
I know. Something I've had a lot of practice with. Oh. You tie up the incapacitated 6 other members of the McDougalls and thoroughly bind the unconscious and quite injured Morag. Also doing a little light surgery to get the
I do so. Okay,
lead shot out of their chest while you're at it.
You'll need to take them
Some distance, but you do already. But a path has been. But you do have there is a safe house nearby.
Okay.
Yes, that you prearranged to go
I
to.
also have a cart.
Do
There's
have a
horse outside.
cart.
Let's load them all onto the
Let's
back of
do
the car.
that.
Yeah, the horses, fortunately, they have attempted to bolt, but were securely locked within the stables and have now finally calmed down, although they're a bit skittish.
Please don't explode the horses.
I couldn't if I wanted to, darling. I'm utterly tapped. We're all right.
Should we search this place?
Yeah, let's
Check
search
there's
it.
nothing.
I search it a bit worryingly fast because I'm still super high.
Yeah, give me.
How long's it
Okay,
been?
I'll help you and keep looking, watching, go.
It's been
Like 5
just
minutes?
5 minutes. You got 5
Yeah.
minutes of this high left. Give me an investigation check. Everybody who's searching.
Okay, I will do. Assuming
Oh,
I'm
that's a
not
1.
still making
I
sure
find
nobody
nothing.
dies.
Ow!
Am I?
I managed to bash my hand on the table and drop my dice.
You rolled a 1 at rolling
Dice.
dice.
Oh,
Yes, I did. But for an actual investigation, it was an 11.
Okay, Jason,
Yeah.
am I still ensuring everyone doesn't bleed out, or can I
you can enjoy
roll
this.
another?
I think they're all
Okay,
tied up
cool.
by this point,
Yeah,
aren't
they're all tied up by this point.
Yeah, I think Fighty's just watching over.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, investigation, that's a 15.
Okay, so
Someone rolled
with a natural 1, you find what appear to be a series of opium bricks stocked into one corner of the stable. Note, those are just bricks.
they? Oh, that's a shame.
It's just a pile of bricks. It was dark. You're really maybe 2 different drugs are kind of playing a little bit of Merry Devil with you right now.
Yeah. Celestia looks at the bricks for a little bit weirdly long.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Corzin.
Yep.
You looking around. There's Scamp. You find there is a couple of there's all of 20 silver 20 silver pieces in the cash box behind the bar part. However, investigating the
No cash kept here overnight.
Yes.
That's all.
However, investigating the office using a set of keys found in Morag's pocket. Actually, Corzin, you investigate the office. Scamp, you're searching through the unconscious forms. You find 50 silver in pieces in loose change. You also find 6 flintlock pistols.
Nice.
Wow.
Around collectively between them 26 lead shot and cartridges of powder.
I don't know what to do with these. Just sort of holding them awkwardly.
Yeah, so up to you who you want to give those to if you want to collect them. You also find the somewhat broken 6-shot revolver.
I'll hold on to that, but put the rest in a pile.
Yeah.
So it was a total of 70 gold, with 70 silver.
70 silver.
Stuff that was.
Yeah.
So that's 23.
Yeah.
My math's
You
right.
also find 2 paper twists in Morag's pocket of red leaf powder.
I'm going to take those and try not to let Celestia see.
Okay. Corzin, searching through the office, you've already previously seen where to touch to avoid setting off whatever security measures are on the desk, which you do before opening the bottom drawer. Inside, you find a brick of opium.
Okay.
With
stolen.
Yep. With I'm going to call it 8 doses. Probably about. Actually, it's a brick. No, 18 doses.
Jesus.
In there. So it's just a solid brick of opium. You also find. That is quite a haul. 120 gold pieces.
Bloody hell.
Nice.
Yeah. In total. Some of it's
also stolen.
Some of it's silver. Some of it's gold. You find a pouch containing 8. It's kind of like mouthfuls of unprocessed red leaf as well.
Okay.
Bloody hell.
Also, I'm stating now for the future, so now that is over, the stats for red leaf: 10 for extra speed and advantage on strength and dex checks, but not saves,
Okay.
for 10 minutes. Exhaustion
And that's
afterwards.
unprocessed, yeah?
Yeah, unprocessed. Powder has different.
Okay.
Powder has different effects. If you can get some, you can find out what that does.
Sorry. How many doses of the red leaf?
8.
8. Okay.
Okay.
Are
Nice
we splitting
little
the gold, or are you holding on to the gold?
Is anyone else currently present?
Right now,
I'm staring at the bricks
there's
like a
your-
weirdo.
Yeah, it's like Celestia is busy searching outside, unsuccessfully. Scamp is busy in the main room. You're the only one there with all of this.
All right. He's going to pocket the gold, and he's going to take the brick and the red leaf back out, and then dump it in the back of the cart as well.
Okay. So,
Actually, he's going to examine the opium brick to see if he could use at least some of it in order to replenish some of his healer's kit.
Yes, you can. Okay. What's your current? I'm going to say you can use up. Some of the healer's kit needs to be replaced with other materials, but some of it does just rely a lot on painkillers. So I'm going to say you can use up 5 doses. Let's see, it doesn't even need to be full 5. Yeah. I'm going to say you can use up 3 doses of the opium to recover 5 uses of your healer's kit.
Done.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to start putting people in the cart.
Yeah. You load.
Can I see if I notice the brick of opium lying there?
Well, I've been cutting bits off.
Yes,
it in order
you actually see Corzin cutting pieces off the brick of opium to replenish his healer's kit. Do you also load the last 2 crates from the cold storage room? Yeah.
The
Why
ones with
not?
the stars on?
Yeah. Okay.
When Corzin's done chopping bits off the opium, I'm fucking having it.
Do you just sort of pick it up?
Yeah, I wait till he's done and then I nick it.
Do I notice the red leaf?
Corzin has not made any effort to hide it.
I have not.
Can I try and take it away?
How stealthily do you want to do it?
Unnoticed.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
Who are you stealthing against? Is it me? Like, should I technically...
Mainly you, yeah.
So
should I
perception
technically
check.
do some sort of check?
Perception check.
Perception. I mean, my perception's terrible, so...
10.
Natural 20.
Oh, my passive perception would get that.
Yeah, you do
Yeah.
actually see.
Anyone's would.
You do actually see it. The pouch of red leaf which Scamp is pocketing.
Okay. I say to him, children shouldn't have drugs, darling.
No one should have drugs.
Corzin
Not
says,
these ones. These are dangerous.
Corzin says, leave that there for a moment, Scamp. We'll be able to palm that off on our contact, hopefully.
How many doses of opium do I now have, by the way?
If you've picked up the brick, I said they
I've
were
nicked
18,
it.
so you got 15 doses of opium.
Fantastic.
Okay, I will take that out of my inventory.
9 plus, hang on. Yeah. Oh no! You cut bits off it and then I stole the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that's fine.
yeah, you've kept the bits that you cut
Used
off.
for the-
You had
the
like
medicine
5
thing.
doses of
Yeah.
it, didn't you? So
That's
yeah.
all good, yeah.
Cool. Like I waited until you were done.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I do say, Celestia, I know it's been a bit rough, but you gotta go easy on that. That's a lot.
I'm not gonna take it all like now. I'll be
Good,
careful.
that would kill you. That would literally kill you.
I will be careful. It's a long time supply. I know that.
I don't think you should be taking red leaf.
Probably not the best idea, though.
How long's it now
It's a
been?
mess.
it's now been over 10 minutes. You're
Okay,
starting
how
to
am I
feel...
feeling?
Yeah, the rush is
Does
gone.
that
You're
affect how I'm
starting
going to
to-
respond? So
You're starting to feel kind of sluggish. Yeah, you've got a point of exhaustion.
okay.
Blah. Everything. Your tongue's a little sticky and thick.
Seriously, you want to know where extensive red leaf use gets you? And he just gestures broadly to the cart.
I mean, I was feeling really good, but I'm kind of inclined to agree. This is not great.
I'm going to give the pouch to Corzin.
He takes it.
I don't intervene.
Okay.
Let's cover this up so that we're not just driving through town with a...
Yeah, is there a top?
There is indeed a large top. which
Yeah.
you're able to hold it.
Bring out your dead
Yeah.
right now.
I'll get a
Although
bell.
in this case, it's more like night soil.
Yeah.
Night soil.
Oh.
Night soil. Night soil, for those of you listeners who aren't familiar, is a euphemism for the shit wagon that comes and empties out the cesspits.
Nice.
And then spreads it on crops, which you really shouldn't do because that's a great way to spread diseases. Unpasteurized shit should not go on crops.
As ever, I have learnt something today.
Pasteurized shit, that's fine.
I will bear that in mind when I grow my crops.
Yes. But no. Anyway, you pile, having piled the various unconscious and restrained and gagged bodies and the crates onto the cart, you cover it up with the top, and having now calmed the horses down, you hitch it up, and the horse makes its way out. So you take it. Thank you.
Yay, Coconut Master.
You drive piling onto the horse. You drive it off towards a safe house between the warren. It's sort of actually close to New Glazes Ward. You're able to keep to the side streets through this whole trip until you reach the safe house. And actually, using a couple of inventive back alleyways, you find that the safe house is actually none other than the house at Whitaker Grove with access to the sewers, where you find a handful of just jacketed but quite muscly, dangerous-looking men and women, most of them human, one halfling, waiting for you, and the green dressed form of Valdrina, I apologise, who's waiting for you.
Well, I'm impressed. You're all intact. Uncover the wagon.
The thugs proceed to do so, revealing the unconscious forms of the McDougalls and the stamped crates.
Ah, and you've collected quite the bounty. I see you've kept all of them alive.
Fair enough. Take Morag, and I leave the rest in your care. We'll respect the wishes of our good friends here,
don't kill them. And make sure that the rest of the merchandise gets to where it needs to go. Actually, there's no drugs left in the cart, so she doesn't say anything about that.
Actually, Corzin will take out the red leaf and place it on the cart and say, extra. No use to us.
Looks at the red leaf powder. I see. She reaches into her pocket and produces a small purse from which she draw carefully. She quickly counts out about 5 large gold sovereigns. They're worth about 5 gold crowns each.
Okay, would Corzin have any idea what the street value of this is?
Of the red leaf powder?
Yeah.
I definitely don't.
You were there for the sale of the red leaf.
Is he being ripped off right now?
You get the feeling you're being paid dealer's rates rather than street rate, but...
Alright.
So
an extra 5 gold.
No, 25 gold. These
25 gold.
These are gold sovereigns. They're
Right.
Yeah, larger currency. So
I guess because
more
that's in
valuable.
front of everybody, we split that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will happily split that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, maths. Help.
8.
Thank
8.
you.
Yeah.
And 1 left.
8 and 1 left over. She takes the 2 twists and puts them into her purse as well. And closes it.
I've got this as well. Wave the broken pistol.
She extends a hand. I will very gladly take that off your hands.
It's really dangerous. It backfired and her insides were out and she nearly died.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh dear, how unfortunate. Well, that's all right. I suppose this will need a bit of work, but I'm glad to see this back in our hands. You've done very well. Very well. In fact, the sculptor would like a meeting with you. Why
Right
don't-
now?
Well, in about an hour. So if you'd like to head over to the statue garden, we have a room, the usual room prepared. But there's also some private rooms upstairs. If you'd like to take the opportunity to have a bath and such, freshen up, we have one drawn up.
Scamp is covered in blood. Most of it more
She narrows her eyes. I'll make sure to have 3 drawn up.
That would be lovely.
Much obliged to you.
That's all right. We'll make sure there's some wine and food. Have a little spread set up, and then when you're ready and we have our preparations made, the sculptor would very much like a word in person.
I believe, having done this, there was also a possibility of a sending spell.
As I said, the sculptor would like to speak with you personally.
Okay.
She nods to the thugs who cover up the wagon once again. If you don't, I'll let you make your own way to the garden, and I'll meet you there. And she closes the door to the shack once you're out of it. Seems they have their own way of getting around.
Does anyone else feel a bit sort of crime gangy?
We literally just broke up a criminal organisation. Admittedly, at the behest of what is most likely another criminal organisation, but
Yeah.
swings and roundabouts.
It's the layers that are getting me. I just feel sort of dirty. I don't know.
Like last night we robbed a place for another crime gang.
We did do that.
We're working for people who have done right by us
I mean, we're doing it for very good reason.
in
as
a
well.
situation whereby we really needed allies. I don't suppose the passing of this particular crime gang is going to be mourned by many people who are not directly related to them.
No, not at all.
Customers of their pub.
I just had a rare moment where I felt a bit morally weird. It doesn't often happen.
Hold on to that, it's a good one.
Not helpful though, is it?
One more.
No, but that's not the point.
Well, I need the information anyway, so might as well not dwell on that too much.
You make your way to the sculpture garden, where Veldrina, this time, is...
Why are you like this?
Valdania this time! Why
previous
am I like
question.
this? Why am I like this?
Like, please stop.
Valdania, the barista, greets you and silently leads you up to a set of 3 rooms where there are 3 separate, rather luxurious rooms. Silk sheets, very comfortable bedding, although you're not quite there for a long stay. But into each one, a tin bath has been made up with hot water. And in each one is neatly sat on a silver platter next to a much larger silver platter covered with fruits and cold cuts and cheeses and bread and such, and carafes of wine. 120 gold pieces on each of those platters.
Nice.
As you take some time, as you take the opportunity to rest and relax in whatever way you deem fit, we will do the same. We'll see you, gentle listeners, after this break and these no doubt important messages.
And now, a word from our friends over at Dungeons and Blackguards.
Welcome, friends and adventurers, to Dungeons and Blackguards, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast. Join us each week as the party tries to survive DM Robulon's homebrew sandbox campaign. Episode 1, A Deadly Point.
There we go. High five.
I'm a big robot.
I put my hand up and I don't get it.
I high five my own hand.
Yeah.
And then run out of the cell.
Join us and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, my lad, have you ever stared into your enemy's eyes the moment you slit their throat? Have you ever felt the hot spray of blood across your cheek? Well, I tell you one thing that's even better than that, my laddie. The feeling of liking, rating, and subscribing to Flintlocks and Fireballs.
And welcome back. Shortly before... one brief thing to cover, actually. When you left the warehouse, Fighty took a brief moment to hold his hand up. Listen, I'm not quite sure what business you're involved in and all, but I don't really handle this side of things. So, tell you what, I'm going to go off, find somewhere to have a drink. I'll be in the quick cut tomorrow if you want to pop in, see if you want to spend any of that money you've been earning on commissioning some new clothes.
That might be really fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think we might just do that.
Yeah, you a lot.
We really do. Is there any, do you want money? We could pay you.
I'd like you to commission... Yeah, you can pay me by commissioning me to do you some clothes.
Okay.
I like my job.
Seems fair.
So...
You work hard, you play hard. I can respect that.
Exactly. He tips his hat to you and makes off his own way. So, afterwards you find yourselves back at the statue garden, having been given an hour to rest, soak, tend to your injuries, get the blood off you,
not stink of hops, I imagine.
Yep, use cleaning. At least cleaning your clothes is easy thanks to the application of prestidigitation. And
I wear my posh outfit.
Having not actually been used today, using the agreed hour of service today, friend offers to take the opportunity to clean and press your clothes for you whilst you're relaxing, Scamp.
Thank you. Lots of blood.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
It's not mine. Some of it's mine.
I know. I was there. Not a problem. And your clothes begin to pick themselves up get washed in a nearby hand basin and are carefully smoothed out and pressed. Is there anything in particular the three of you take the time to do or take care of during this hour of rest?
Corzin is gonna give his waistcoat a proper scrape in order to get any dirt off it, and then he is going to
vivid.
yeah. Well, he's gonna need a clothes brush to get it all off.
There is actually a tub as well as the tin bath and a full set of just like various things, including a stiff clothes brush. These are really high quality suites.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a small bar. Like there's a small cupboard just full of tiny bottles of beer, like little bottles of wine, and you know that if you weren't staying here at the sculptor on the sculptor's purse, you would be charged for each individual bottle.
Right. Okay. Corzin is
The oldie
going to clean his clothes as best as possible, crack open a beer, and then lie in the tin bath, and he is able to lie flat in it.
Leave that tiny.
Yeah. Actually, after a while, he just he spends some time just soaking there, floating gently in the I don't know, what would it be, like 6 inches of water. But yeah, he's like, that's better. And he's going to tend as best he can to the wounds that he acquired. So he's going to use one of the newfound doses of the healer's kit to regain the full maximum amount of hit points he could regain here.
Yeah.
So he regains 13 hit points.
It's really good. Awesome.
Yeah. Doubling his current hit points.
Jesus. Yeah. Celestia sits in the bath for a theatrically long time and swigs whiskey. Not enough that she's drunk, may I add. Just
a little bit of it around.
Are there bubbles in these baths?
There are actually bars of soap provided, and with a little bit of work, it's easy enough to create bubbles.
I would like to try and build a castle out of foam.
Oh.
You spend a good 5 minutes frothing this soap bar up, and then begin building your foam castle. Every now and again, friend dips an invisible hand in to help keep it upright.
Aww.
That's the cutest thing ever.
For each of you, about 10 minutes.
Well, now I have to draw us all in the bath, so that's going to get weird. It's going to be strategically placed bubbles. It's going to be fine.
About 50 minutes in, there is a knock at each of your doors, and just a word of, the sculptor will see you in about 10 minutes' time. If you'd care to dress and refresh yourselves.
Thank you.
Yes. And after a bit of time, you two dry yourselves off, get dressed into your clothes, whether they've been cleaned and pressed by magic, hard work, or invisible friends. You are rested and refreshed when Veldania comes to your door in her black waistcoat. If you'd care to follow me, please.
Of course.
She leads you to the end of the hallway to what appears to be a small door. Wide enough, tall enough for humans to get into, but pulls it open. There is a cleaning closet with brushes and brooms either side. Moves to the end. Pulls on on what looks to be a shelf attached, and there is a gentle grinding as
cool.
she pushes
so
to
cool.
one side.
Secret doors. I love
She
secret
gestures
doors.
for you to descend the stairs below, and you notice that the stairs are actually lit. There is actually a single light down the dark stairwell, not coming from a torch, but what looks to be a beautiful green gem about the size of an adult human's thumbnail, just pressed into the wall and glowing with some inner light. As you descend, there's another as the passageway above closes. Veldania has not followed you, but you make your way down. There's a short passage, and you feel like, judging from the distance you're travelling, you're going under. You've gone from the top floor down, probably to a basement level, and you make your way out and find yourself leading to what looks like a very well-appointed, quite spacious sitting room. And there's a chandelier above. This is surprisingly high ceiling, about 15 feet high at its highest point, and slightly domed to support the weight of the building above it. The chandelier is gold. It is covered. It is draped with beautiful crystal glass, like just that lovely sort of lead glass crystal prisms all around it. In fact, make a perception check, anyone who wants to.
Go on then.
Ooh, 15.
13.
17.
The 15 and 17, Scamp and Corzin. The larger crystals are lead glass, but there are dotted all around what look to be actual clear gemstones, much smaller ones, just in little strings here and there. You're not sure whether they're diamonds or maybe some sort of clear tourmaline or something, but they're definitely gemstones rather than glass. They refract the light in a different way. And the light is coming from where there would be candles in this chandelier. Instead, there are set what appear to be, again, thumb-sized yellow topazes, cut in a way as to almost resemble just a little bit the flickering tails of flames, glowing with bright inner light. Corzin, just the senses you've picked up, your mind supplies pretty but also expensive.
That's gotta be worth several hundred gold pieces at the very least, possibly into the thousands.
It is an opulence which is reflected in the rest of the room. The walls have been inlaid with fine pink-veined marble in places, black and white-veined marble in others along the archways. There are two sets of seats, sort of cushions that you sort of long cushioned benches that one can that perhaps a total of maybe 8 people could sit on, 4 on either side, and they are covered in plush velvet cushions. The studs holding the leather on them, which is that rich green sage leather, appear to have been gilded, as in they are actually foiled in gold. There are on parts of the walls a number of beautiful pastoral scenes in oil paintings, done again, like, of all of you, Corzin, you have a good sense of like how much of the market value of things. Celestia, however, you have a certain aesthetic appreciation for this sort of work, and these were done by masters. Just the shading, the choice of the color use, they have beautifully replicated scenes from the surface in oil shades, and indeed one of them actually you see depicts a great underground cavern lit by bluish purplish fungus on the ceiling, and what appears to be almost like a, to you, Corzin and Scamp, it looks almost like a castle maybe, or like a chateau dug into the side of this cave, walls smoothed and very much resembling that classical mansion that you might find on the surface, except it has no roof. It seems to be built seamlessly into the side of the cave. Looking at it, Celestia, you can recognise the distinctive geometric designs of and repeating knot patterns of dwarven architecture. This looks to be. I was
going to ask if it was dwarven.
Yeah, it looks to be an image of a very wealthy dwarf hall somewhere in the Underdark. And again, done to the same quality of the other paintings. The centre of the room, you notice, has a curious thing. There is deep, rich green carpet as well, all throughout. But the very centre of this room, and you notice there are actually two entranceways out of it. One is a hallway that that begins where the passageway that you came down, the stairwell, stops. There's actually another side door, which is currently closed, which leads on into the main sitting area. There is also what looks to be a pair of deep dark green, almost black curtains over an archway, over a black marble archway at the far end, leading off to some other area. But the centre of the room has, curiously, a tarp laid out of it, like a sort of builder's tarp or something that someone working on a construction site, or with something that might produce a certain amount of mess or disruption might use. And in the centre of that tarp has been set a 3-foot-high stone plinth of what looks to be alabaster. It has it's a fluted column with a flat top. The room is currently empty. There is also, hung up on one wall, a couple. You can see there are 3 small coat racks, again gilded, on which is hanging. Hanging on one of them is an apron with one of those pockets at the front where you put your tools in, and just a series of tools of some sort. You can't see exactly what they are, but you can see wooden handles poking out from where the various slots are.
Okay. Right.
What do you do?
Is there anywhere to sit?
Yes, there are the the beautiful cushioned benches.
Corzin is going to investigate the archway with the curtain.
Okay.
Keep my hood down.
I'm going to plunk myself on a bench and wait.
How are you going to investigate it?
Well, he's just going to approach it at first, and I assume it's like a blackout curtain. We can't see what's behind it.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Right.
And it's quite well covered. So you probably need to disturb the curtain to look behind it. Unless...
Yeah.
That seems like a bad idea. I see you looking at that curtain. Don't touch it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Does
We're
it look
waiting
like
to
it's
be seen. We should wait.
Alright, he comes back, sits down, but keeps an eye on the curtain.
Okay. You take your seat, and a short while later, you hear the door further down the hallway open, and there is a figure comes out. It's the green dressed figure of Veldrina Hanali. She is, as ever, carrying a small cup of coffee and a teacup. She moves out and takes a sip. Sorry, my apologies. That's Hanuli. Sorry, mistaken. The A's look like a U there. Not that she's actually ever addressed you by her surname,
No.
so you wouldn't know this, but Veldrina emerges with a small, her traditional little cup of espresso, sipping from it. Good to see you're all ready. She stands by the archway and says, I do apologise for the delay. We were just having a little trouble with one of our guests. She sets the coffee cup down on the side of the arm of one of the cushioned seating arrangements. She calls through the curtain. I believe everybody's here. And you just hear a voice from beyond. Excellent. Please, do bring our other guest in. And the door, Veldrina snaps her fingers, and the far door opens again, and 5 figures come out, 4 holding one of them. There are 2 roughly kind of quite heavily built humans and 2 heavily built halflings holding a 3rd halfling, struggling against them. You can see the form of Morag McDougal. She appears to have received the attention of healing potion, because she seems to have been given a fair amount of it, as she's no longer showing signs of her injuries at all. Her skin is smooth and unblemished, and she appears to have been changed into a summery dress, like you might see at a festival.
This is going.
And she is struggling against the 4 of them, holding her arms and legs. Let me go! Let me go, you bastards! And you hear a voice from behind the curtain. Come now. That's no way to behave in your host's presence. And a figure steps out, brushing aside the velvet curtains. You see a tall humanoid figure with deep black scaled skin, with repeating amber highlights and patterns all the way down it. The figure has a distinctive hourglassness to their shape that you can see some effort has been gone to in their clothing to counteract. They seem to favour green. They have tight green breeches and off-white tights ending in black, impeccably shined shoes with golden buckle. Well, actually, no, they would be silver buckles. They are wearing a tightly fitted forest green waistcoat. There are 2 small bumps on their chest, but they have been pressed tight by the waistcoat to reduce the impact of them. Underneath the waistcoat is again an off-white silk shirt with ruffs. They seem to be wearing a lighter yellowish, sort of saffron-coloured cravat as well. Their fingers are bedecked out in gold and jewelled rings. They have a pair of gold diamond-studded earrings with little hoops in them, and the diamond studded all around the hoops, but in quite a chunky style. And you can see that just underneath the cravat there is a gold necklace with repeating onyx cabochons, sort of round circular type stones fitting into them. They don't have hair as such. Sprouting from the crown of their head are a mass of what looks at first like dreadlocks tied back into a tail, but you realise are the bodies and heads of black-scaled snakes, all seemingly asleep, except for one which is curled around the rest to keep them tight into the tail. They wear a pair of deep black lenses, similar to those that Celestia wears, but rimmed in gold. I am very glad to see you at last, Morag. I'm had it with you. I don't want to be a part of this bullshit anymore. I warn you, Morag. Keep a tight rein on that tongue of yours. And why should I do that? Fuck you, you stupid bitch! Silence her! One of the thugs pulls out a gag and roughly shoves it into Morag's mouth. The other three hold her down to the ground. You see the sculptor just take a careful in-breath. My apologies. I so dislike rudeness in my guests. They nod to the four figures, who pick up Morag and literally bodily pick her up and set her on top of the plinth. She continues to struggle, trying to spit out the gag, but they're holding in place. I think a dancer's pose this time. And the four figures pull her arms into a position, one raised up, one pressed forward, one leg raised, and the last thing, while one of them grabs the gag. Now, they pull the gag out, and Morag begins to scream. The three of you see all four of the thugs and Veldrina look away from the sculptor. What do you do?
Look away.
Yeah, if
I'd like to keep looking at Morag, but away from the sculptor, if possible.
Yeah,
like if I can put a hand
and
up
it's
or
pretty much
something.
almost impossible not to look at Morag if you're not looking at the sculptor.
yeah, that's what Corzin will do as well.
You just see out of your periphery the sculptor reach up and pull away the spectacles, and Morag, her eyes just seem fixed on the sculptor as she screams. The scream just, and her skin goes pale, and it's almost, and you see, almost in a strange reversal of the shadows, white begin to flow up her veins, her arteries, expanding out from the capillaries, spreading out across her skin, and then through the dress itself as her whole body turns into perfect white alabaster. She's frozen, one arm extended up, one out to the side, a leg slightly kicked out in frustration, the dress frozen in the moment it was in, and her face frozen in an expression of horror and rage. You see emotion out of your peripheral vision. I think we're quite fine now. And the four thugs step back. Veldrina looks round. The thugs give a low bow to the sculptor. Thank you. That shall be all for now. The sculptor nods to the four figures, who bow again, turn and leave. Veldrina remains standing, but picks up the coffee cup again, takes a sip, and the sculptor moves over, picks up the apron and begins putting it on as Veldrina steps into the next room. So, I've been hearing quite a lot about your exploits, they say, while tying the apron up.
You know, it's funny, because we haven't heard a lot about yours. Celestia Stardust, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Do you extend your hand?
Yes.
The sculptor takes it, shakes it firmly. The sculptor, but I think now we are on close enough terms that you may call me Perseus.
Perseus.
Veldrina returns with a tall chair, which she sets in front of the plinth with the statue on it. The sculptor takes a perch, removes a chisel and a small hammer, and begins carefully chiseling at Morag's face. Flakes of alabaster begin to come off while she works. So, first things first, and this whole conversation is just underpinned with a tick, 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 tick of stone being removed. I took the liberty of arranging for a sending to my contacts around the continent. I have good news.
Celestia's absolute poker face during all of this, by the way.
I believe you're looking for a ship with scarlet sails, yes?
Yes, the Scarlet Wind.
The Scarlet Wind just made port in the town of Werrick's Watch in Meadmere. I have a contact there, another of the Fisher Kings, which you may wish to speak to.
I'd very much like a name.
A name is not how we operate.
Or an equivalent.
But I will give
way.
you his title and tell you where to find him. You will be seeking the bookkeeper. He has his own little arrangement there. Quite fond of gambling. And indeed a gambling den. The Lucky Cup, I believe he calls it.
Would Corzin be at all familiar with that?
Yes, you've been to the Lucky Cup before. It's a kind of middle-class gambling den. There's, croupiers, roulette tables, that sort of thing. But there's also just dicing tables, Like it's not a rough and tumble place, but it's more popular with officers and captains than crew by and large. But it does enough business. It's fairly accessible from the waterfront. Don't know much about the ownership of it.
Also, would he have the first idea what this is before him?
Make a nature check. Anyone who wants to. This is a creature
Would
of
I?
legend and lore.
Legend. Okay, maybe I would actually.
Ooh.
Legend.
Nature, that's an 18.
Oh no, that's
Nature.
that's a 6. Celestia wasn't paying attention in that lesson.
18.
With an 18, you've obviously never seen this type of creature before, but you've heard of them in legend and myth. They're supposedly said to live in swamps for the most part, but occasionally there are stories of them emerging and seeking to gain control of different places. They're obsessed with acquiring wealth and hoarding it. This is a creature known as a Gorgon, who, as well as being possessed of a crown of venomous snakes, their very gaze will turn a creature to stone permanently. You know one other thing. All Gorgons are female.
Okay.
The sculptor continues tapping. There is, so long as you make it clear that you're in my good graces, I believe that even if you do not catch the wind before it leaves port, which is unlikely if it just came in today, tap, then the bookkeeper will be more than willing to provide you with its next port of call. I believe he has dealt with them on previous occasions.
Will that be in exchange for another job, or is that on the back of this job? Just so that I'm aware.
He will probably ask for some small favour, but he may just simply take coin. Some of my fellow kings are quite mercenary in these matters. Tap, tap, tap. Still, though, he has dealt with them many times before, and I believe he knows something of their true mooring, their home port, if you will. Tap, tap, tap.
I was going to ask.
Good to know.
So he may well be able to give you a more definite answer. Alas, that is information which I would not trust to ascending. These things can be intercepted if one knows how. Tap, tap, tap.
Good to know.
What, with magical means?
Yes, there is a spell that can be learned and practiced by a capable mage. It is often the way of diviners to intercept such messages. A curse of sorts that can be laid upon a mage to interrupt what sendings they send and receive.
You haven't ever heard of similar things happening with scrying, have you?
I'm afraid it's not an area of my specialty.
Well, fair
This
enough.
is not something I have to worry about myself. I made preparations a long time ago to proof this place against scrying. Nothing of magic can see what goes on in my chambers.
That seems very sensible.
Indeed, it is expensive, but, well, I have money.
I suppose it pays to protect oneself as well, doesn't it?
Well, quite. People can be very poor to understand creatures such as myself. Still, the
So would this
sculptor,
bookkeeper be another of your fraternity?
No, in fact, I believe they're a halfling. Tap, tap, tap.
Takes all sorts, I suppose.
Indeed. The Fisher Kings we are united by our respect for one another and our love of wealth. Tap, tap, tap. Speaking of which, I don't imagine you'll be interested, as I understand you have your own callings that take you away. But I will extend the offer to you regardless. They peer up, again through the smoked black lenses, so you can't see their eyes, for a moment before returning to their work. And you can see the face has changed in shape in various ways. They work quickly. Something about its features are changing, just differences in how the musculature is shaped. There's a degree of smoothing going on. The final product is not quite done. But as they carry on, I do have a very sensitive project underway for which we are being paid an extensive amount of money. If you are interested, I imagine it will take 3 months or so of your time. You would be paid 5... let's make it 1,500 gold crowns each. It would be escorting and overseeing a large series of deliveries across the continent. Of course, as I understand it, time is perhaps more important to you than large amounts of cash right now.
Yes, it's a very kind offer, but unfortunately we're a little busy.
Well, I quite understand. We are friends, you are guests. You are not slaves in my service. Incidentally, I must commend you on the decision to keep the other MacDougall's alive. It is always sensible not to leave corpses that can be interrogated, or if you must leave a corpse, do not leave it in a state to be spoken to. I will respect your wishes. I will keep them alive. I have some friends in Sunder who will be very happy to receive their labour. Tap, 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 tap.
Does this mean anything to me? In terms of having lived in the Underdark?
You know that a large portion of slaves that assault the surface go to work the plantations and mines of Sunder.
Thought so.
Still, if you are ever likely to find yourself in Seoul, I do have some companions there who might be willing to employ someone who is within my confidences, if you would be interested.
I mean, I'm not sure if we'll be getting over there, but contacts never hurt.
I'm not aware where the captain intends to go after here, but...
Well, if you ever are... And one moment while I find the necessary notes. Ah, yes. You should be aware of some of the other Fisher Kings by their title. The major players that you should be aware of. Well, of course, you've met me. In Borwick's Bay, I believe you've already met the Viper.
We have.
The bookkeeper you will find in Werrick's Watch. In Alessant in Seoul, you will do wise to look for the Scalpel. They work in a surgery there, I believe, perhaps supporting one Dr. Krennic. In Kion, I might suggest there is a recent rising star there, the Wolverine. They work out of the fatted calf. Tap, 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 tap. In Port aux Salts, you will find the Butcher. The Butcher, of course, may be found at the meat market. And in Vendion, I would ask you to seek out the Mason at the West Wall Brickworks. Tap, tap, tap.
Thank you, that could come in very handy.
Agreed.
Who knows? By the time you arrive there, perhaps agents of mine, or perhaps even I, may take a short little visit to Seoul to oversee this operation. I assume they peer up again, eyes not crossing over the smoke lenses. You have sated your curiosity as to the contents of our latest shipments. Tap, tap, tap.
What, the crates?
Indeed.
Who are you arming?
When you do work for me that relates to that particular job at some point, I shall be more than happy to tell you. Until then, I prefer to keep that in as few heads as possible. You never know when someone might kill you and extract the information from your corpse. Tap, tap, tap. Still, they step backwards, lowering their chisel and cracking their knuckles. And you can see that the face of the statue has been changed from an expression of horror to one of exuberant joy. With a pose as it is one of a dancer just caught in a moment of ecstasy mid-dance. Still, thank you very kindly for your assistance in these matters. They reach into a pocket and produce a tiny jade figurine of a fisherman, which they pass to you, Celestia.
I take it.
My bona fides, should you wish to prove to another king that you have my support.
Thank you, that's very kind of you.
They sit up, take off the apron and hang it up. You can see that a number of stone chippings are now on the tarp and the floor. Yes, I think this one will go well in the eastern arches. Don't you, Veltrina? Yes, sir. Good. Take care of it. It has been a pleasure. You are welcome any time. They give you a slight inclination of the head and stride back into their chambers beyond the velvet curtain.
Corzin turns to Scamp and says, Scamp, remind me never to doubt you ever again.
I think we need to go before we talk about anything.
Valdrina looks up and takes a sip from her coffee cup. You might at that. Have a good night. The rooms are available for the rest of the evening should you want them. If not, have a good evening.
I have to
You
feed
too,
my mum.
thank you.
You catch a moment of complete nonplussedness in Valdrina's eyes.
Celestia clears her throat.
And there's just a little bit of a spit take with the coffee. She
Yeah,
wipes
Celestia,
them up.
having had a perfect poker face up to this point, clears her throat a little bit, trying not to giggle. Right, let's go.
The three of you make your way back up through the secret passageway up to the upper floors. I'm assuming you're leaving the statue garden?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you leave the statue garden flanked on every side by joyful or meditative or calm or cheerful or loving figures. Statues.
That's fucking
everywhere you
sinister
pass.
as hell.
I told you.
That you did. Well, that happened.
So, what time of day is it actually?
It's about 11 at night by this point.
Alright,
Should we go to the Grimani's?
I think that's probably wise.
We should probably not tell them that all the statues are people.
No.
To be perfectly honest, would anybody believe us?
Maybe we should just advise them not to go near the sculpture garden.
Well,
Just
they won't.
keep away. Very true. Warwick's watch, Corzin.
Yep, we've got to get there as quickly as possible.
Do you think we can talk Randy round?
If we can find a reason for going there, I'm sure there's every chance. We have to,
I don't even know what's fucking in Meadmere. I have no idea.
well, in terms of things that might be of use to us, could I do a history check to see if I have any idea what sort of shipping might be going in or out of Warwick's watch?
Yeah,
anything
go for
that
it.
might be worth having from a privateer's point of view.
Yeah, go for it.
That is 13.
I mean, primarily, at this time of year, a lot of grain exports. Meadmere has a huge surf population, and they primarily export a lot of grains and other agricultural materials. And, you know, although it's not necessarily high-value cargo, the grain ships are usually poorly defended, at least. It's something. It's always possible that you could find that there might be a ship or two carrying cloth in, heading towards Warwick's Watch. Winter is coming in. There's always a demand for good clothing.
I mean, You might not love this, but we could lie.
What do you suggest we tell him?
I don't know, some rumours about some ship with expensive shit on it.
I lose a lot of faith in us when that turns out not to be true.
Once again, I
Don't
think
care.
Scamp's right.
We might if we need him to get elsewhere.
True.
How far, or rather, how long would it take to get to Warwick's watch if we went on our own? Maybe. Well, with the
By
Charlie's
land?
Regret, it would be a day and a half. But if we could charter a ship of our own.
Yeah, maybe we
get
could meet the
paid
Charlie's
for
Regret
that.
somewhere.
You
Get paid for
the,
that job?
the gold was in your rooms. You got
Yeah, we got
120 gold each.
120 each.
Yeah.
So we're
missed that
actually pretty.
entirely.
Maybe it was a check thing or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, 120 on whatever you had already.
Yeah.
We could hire a ship.
And how many days does the Charlie's Regret still have in dry dock?
The Charlie's Regret has 4 days left in dry dock. It will be ready to go. Sorry, I'm just scrolling. Scrolling? What? I'm not on a digital format. My notes are in paper.
You've spent too
You're
much
scrolling
time
your
on
scrolls.
smartphone.
Yeah. The ship will be ready on this. Sorry, 5 days. Well, 4 days now because it's nearly midnight. It'll be ready on the morning of the 6th of First Flurries.
Cool.
Is the plan.
And like, how long will it take?
It depends. If you were to try and find a ship that is going to Warwick's Watch and just buy passage on that or barter it in some way, then it would take maybe a day and a half or 2 days if a ship's travelling a bit slower, if one was going directly from Crosswater to Warwick's Watch within those few days. If you tried to do it just getting horses and riding, you'd have to cross the Meadmerish border for one, and it would be around 260 miles as the horse rides.
So
you would be looking at, on horseback, you can make, I think it's about 8 miles, comfortably we call it 8 miles an hour. You travel 8 days, so 5 days travel.
right.
6 days travel.
I guess we have a vague chat about this so that we don't do it again in character because that's not fun to
Yeah.
listen to.
Alright, okay, this is...
Should we hire passage and
That
maybe come
would
up
be
with a
an idea, but
backup
it's-
of where we can meet the Charlie's Regret if we miss them?
well... I've got a commission there. If I desert, then that's, that's really, really a, something I could literally be shot for.
Right, I don't know how this works, so
Alright,
that's news to me.
but I have an idea. It's a little bit risky, but it's
How risky.
all about causing a delay. All we know at the moment is that the Charlie's Regret is going to be in dry dock for another 4 days.
Are you suggesting we try and put it in dry dock for longer? Because I'm pretty
No.
sure you could be shot for that.
No. That, again, is something you could absolutely be shot for. What I'm suggesting is, as far as we know at the moment, Brandy is still waiting and negotiating for the ransom of the prisoners we took. If we can ensure that that takes longer than it otherwise would, we may buy ourselves some time.
How?
I don't know, maybe one of them falls ill, seemingly won't to die, but does eventually make a recovery.
Or we could just talk to Brandy and ask for a couple more days.
What's he like
He's-
when it comes to that sort of thing?
He'd probably be sympathetic, but he's got a ship and a crew to take care of. He can't be shown to favour us unduly.
We've got lots of gold.
Could we pay him?
it's possible.
I mean, we wouldn't even need that long. We'd need like 1 day. It's the first today. If we tried to get on a ship, like, really, really soon, day and a half there.
I'm an idiot.
What?
I'm an absolute idiot.
Why?
The
I mean, we knew
Crimson
that, but-
Wind, it's there. That's what he'll want. If we could spin it to him that he could be a captain who takes down the Scarlet Wind, that is going to give him bragging rights for life.
Why, is that like prestigious or something? I don't know anything.
How much does Corzin know about the Scarlet Wind?
As much as you've heard from Lucia, which is that it has supposedly been raiding shipping for 30 years. It's the equivalent. It's almost like the Flying Dutchman, you know.
Right. Okay.
It just seems to come out of nowhere, raid ships, disappear, know where it sells its goods.
That's definitely then. Alright, I'll say this in character. Right, that's definitely going to be something that's going to be of interest to Brandy, because as far as I know, it's not loyal to any nation. So we could literally sail right up to it, blast it out of the water if we had to, and the Mead Mirish can't touch us for it.
I mean, there's one flaw in this plan. It might have gone by the time we get there with the Child's Regret.
But we could ask if we could go ahead.
That's true.
Yeah, we
okay.
could meet them there.
We'll have to swing it with him, but I think this is probably the best plan. If we can convince him that our information is good, then that's definitely going to be something that's going to be enticing to him. Also, if we have the 4 days or whatever it is, we've got at least 4 days to play with in order to make the job easier for him when he does finally arrive.
Yeah, I mean, we could legitimately try and delay the thing.
Absolutely. Well, if the person you're looking for is on board it, we are gonna have to.
Yeah, and I'd quite like them all dead.
Also, we've got to at least be prepared for the possibility that Olga is there right now. And if she is, then I swear to you both, she is not leaving there alive.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that one.
So we've
It
got to
just
find
seems
a
like
ship.
too much of a coincidence.
We've got to find a ship. We've got to persuade Brandy.
Yeah.
Finding a ship shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I think
but,
maybe we worry
it's
about Brandy
persuading
first,
Brandy.
because if we can't persuade him, then we have to rethink.
If there
Alright.
isn't a ship, we have to rethink too.
True.
Well, let's go and speak to him. If you have any idea of something that might make a person sweeter, hit me.
I mean, I've got a
Won't
spell.
they realise?
I've got one that they won't realise.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've got that thing I did to Jean-Paul Savat. No one knows that I've done that afterwards. And that can last for 8 hours. If we got him to,
Is there a chance it doesn't work?
There is a chance it doesn't work, but he
Do
doesn't...
they know if it doesn't work?
Nope.
Okay,
And
that's very good.
I've got 3 goes if we do it when I've got spells.
Right.
I currently don't
Then-
have spells, I'm fucked, but... Well, we could try persuading him now, and then if it...
Let's go and speak to him tomorrow when we're refreshed. I recommend, plying him a little. Give him something decent to drink.
If we're going to get him
He's never one
drunk,
that-
surely this evening's better.
Well,
Otherwise we have to wait until like a reasonable drinking hour, and I don't want to wait. I want to know what
he's
we're doing.
a sailor on shore leave.
If we go now, he might already be pissed.
Well, if you're confident you can swing it, then fine.
No, I don't know. I'm worried about waiting overnight. It's a long time.
Look, we want to have the best chance at this we can possibly get, don't we?
I know, but we know where it is. We could just go.
How about we go and find out if there are any ships leaving, and that'll give us a time.
Alright, that's something, actually.
Okay.
I mean, it's getting pretty late now, but...
If you want to check at the docks, give me an investigation check. Just
Can I do it with advantage?
Yes,
everyone's helping.
Everyone's helping. You're just
Yeah.
searching around, asking different hardmasters.
Ooh, I suppose that was with advantage. That's a 21.
Okay. Okay. So, you do have to ask around quite a lot. But after us, and it seems that just no one is going to Meadmere at first. Or if they are, they're going at the end of the month, or they're waiting for taking on cargo. There's certainly nothing in the next day, but as you're getting more and more frustrated, you just keep asking. You spend like a good 40 minutes or so asking around. The best that you can get is there is one captain, the captain of the Black Bodkin, who introduces herself as Captain Wheeler. She's a black ponytail, dusky skin. You think there's maybe some Ferosian heritage in there, or maybe Sanistali or something. She kind of listens to whether or not you're trying to find somewhere going to Warwick's Watch in particular. Yeah, I mean, we are actually going to Warwick's Watch eventually.
How eventually?
Well, I mean, we're not leaving for a couple of days, just evening of the 4th. But there's one of our stop-offs along the way while we're doing the cloth route. Probably go stop off there and then make our way round. So we'll eventually be going, all the way around the top of the top of Jova, and eventually head on towards Ossyria.
So,
Would you be persuaded to go sooner?
I mean, sure, if you could, sure, if you've got a couple of thousand gold crowns to make up the difference in profits I'd be losing from waiting for the rest of my cargo to come in.
no.
Well, I'm sorry, but the tide waits for no woman, and unfortunately, I can't be setting off until I've got something from until the people with the cloth have actually delivered it here. But I would have set off. I would have set off 2 days ago, but there's been all this trouble with the shadows interrupting the weaving.
Right, makes sense, I suppose.
Right.
What?
Do you know how much it would cost to charter a ship?
To charter a ship?
Or just a little boat that was fast?
Yeah, a little shitty boat.
I mean, if you're looking for a wee boat, I don't know, probably a few hundred. If you're looking for a wee boat, assuming you've got some sort of character reference or a signed note from from the Dwarf Bank. That you're people of character and have an account with them, and you're likely to actually bring the ship back. Maybe you could get that for a few hundred gold pieces. But generally, people want you to buy a ship if you're going to sail it out of the dock like that.
Okay, something Corzin would know, but I, out of character, don't. Does the Charlie's Regret have a skiff?
The Chinese Regret has a longboat,
Right.
Oh god, that's so not going to do it.
Yeah, it's no,
not like across an ocean. Like that's not okay.
No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
just
good
thought,
shout
just
though.
thought.
Like
it can manage a top speed of 2 knots.
Yeah, no. Plus, there's no way in hell we're all going to be able to row well enough.
me and Scamp, come on. You maybe. Like if we had 3 people your strength, perhaps, but like me and Scamp.
Yeah, no,
And it does seem that you would know this, Corzin. One of the problems with chartering a vessel that someone isn't, just like a vessel like that to and saying it yourself is people are generally unwilling to go on 150-mile journeys there and back for less than a few hundred gold pieces. And if you were to try and charter a ship, to head up yourself, like a small ship, even then, yeah, you could maybe do it for a few hundred gold pieces, but you'd need a bank. Fundamentally, you need the dwarf bank, Guildenstern and Goldenkratz, to actually to certify you as someone who isn't just going to run off with the property.
Yeah. What happened to the
What if
fawn?
The fawn, as far as you know, has been sold. Not for parts, but for its structure, and will be spending several weeks, if not a couple of months, in dry dock, being turned back into a seaworthy ship.
Yeah, figured. Okay.
Cryptic question. Sorry, guys. What if one were to have a certain piece of paper?
Not necessarily. The problem is that whether that would go with any currency here is a different matter, and you would also, again, need to find a ship that was willing to go that way. And it seems like any ship that would be willing to go that way is one that already has trade inclinations.
No, but I meant for, actually chartering one, would that be an equivalent of Dwarven
yes,
Bank?
that would be acknowledged by the Dwarven Bank. Yeah, that would be acknowledged as a statement of character.
Okay, cool.
Which would be the important thing.
I'm going to say to the other two, the Dwarven Bank we might not need to worry about.
Oh, really?
Yes. Possibly. Might be alright.
Do you have an account with them or something?
Not quite. But I've got something.
Hey?
I think.
The worst that happens is they say no.
We're trying.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling that we're going to be stuck here for a few more days.
If we can butter Brandy up, we can possibly get his take on how best to get to Meadmere.
Do you think a bunch of gold might speed up the work? Is it stuff that more hands would speed up?
It's probably more just a case of...
Make an intelligence check, Corzin.
Okay.
Oh my god, I thought you were going to say Scamp.
I have a small heart attack whenever I ask for one as well.
8.
You sail ships, you don't build them. Maybe you'd have to ask a ship. You'd have to ask the shipwrights working on Charlie's Regret. You don't know if
It's
they.
probably just a case of how long it takes tar to dry.
Not necessarily, but we should find out.
I
Alright.
would like to ask around about hiring a ship.
Okay.
All right.
You all doing that together, or are you doing that on your own?
Is it too late to find
It's coming close to midnight, but again, Brandy is a sailor in port.
Yeah.
I want to be there for Brandy, so I'd like to have a little ask around before we leave.
Okay, make an investigation.
I'll help.
Okay, make an investigation check with advantage.
Oh, that's good. 19.
Okay. Looking around, there is the harbour master's. The harbour master is out, but the harbour master's assistant is in, and they do actually do some of the work for this sort of thing. And you do find a pink-scaled dragonborn, quite youngish looking, as far as you can tell. They seem a little shorter, a little more slender than other dragonborn you've seen.
Pink-scaled.
Yeah, with yellow-tipped head frills.
Oh, cool.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, they have not so much bags as like little bits, like kind of more flaps of skin under their RAs, as if they look tired. There isn't the discoloration that you'd see with,
But there's like the shape.
Yeah, there's the kind of the shape of tie. They're like they're burning the midnight oil, and they are literally burning the midnight oil at this point as they're doing some stuff in working through a ledger. You are looking for a... You're looking to hire a ship, yes?
Yes, we're looking to go to Werrick's Watch and back.
Right. Well, first of all, if you're looking to hire... this is, I assume, a pleasure cruise. You're looking for a small vessel that can make good speed, yes?
Yes.
Yes, well. She falls through her books, looking to a different page. Seems to go through different letters. Well, the next one that's available, most of them are out or otherwise spoken for. There's one, okay, yes, there we go. The Tea Leaf is available from the evening of the 3rd. Assuming you have suitable reference papers, they would be willing... Let's see, they have a cited price for the hiring of crew. That's the Werrick's Watch, so we're looking at, assuming it was straight there for half a day and back, you're looking at 4 days of hiring.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be looking at 800 gold crowns. The Tea Leaf, I'm sure that nobody else will be coming and looking, so if you need a little time to think about it, I'm sure it'll still be available in the morning.
We'll have a think, thank you. I don't think we even have 800 gold, do we? I say as soon as we're out of the office.
800 is possibly what all of us collectively have. If you took everything.
Maybe just about. I mean, I've got 290 total. I'm not sure.
Oh, I've got 360.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe. But it's not available till the 3rd. What's the date today?
First.
End of the 1st.
Just now, as you hear the gong, gong, gong of midnight chimes, it's just the 2nd.
Oh, we could rob a bank.
We could just steal a ship.
We could just steal a ship.
I don't think we should steal a ship. There's only 3 of us.
Yeah, that
Also,
would be bad.
piracy is frowned on no matter where you are. Not to say it doesn't go on, but generally, when you're stealing someone's ship, you do it on the high seas rather than in port.
Where everyone can see.
Quite. You always were a thinker, Scamp.
If we talk to Brandy, when are we sailing out? When is that happening?
4th? Good morning.
Well, that's assuming
the morning
that
of the
he
6th
has...
is when the
Six.
expected completion date for the...
balls, that's really
Fuck's
fast.
sake. Oh.
I mean, that's assuming that he's found a ransom for.
You do know where the ship. You do know where the ship is and where it's and what company is and where the construction work is happening as well.
It's not so much a problem of when he's sailing out; it's when where he's going to be going when he does. Because if we can convince him that we've got a job that we can pull in Meadmere, he may sail there. But the whole thing that this clinches on is getting there as quickly as possible.
It does. I'm wondering if we could rustle up 900 gold between us. But I don't know. It depends how much we all have and... shit.
I think we should talk to Brandy first, because he may have some resources we don't. Or at least some information we don't.
Maybe contacts, something. I mean, he's a fucking sailor, isn't he?
Okay, another out of character question.
Mm-hmm.
Would Corzin be aware if there was any air power here?
Air power. Oh, in the sense of air travel. No. There air travel exists, but it's all based on. But it's heavily controlled by the military, and it's Giant Eagle based.
Oh, okay, cool. Celestia doesn't know this. Yeah.
Because I was thinking, if we want to get there fast, it probably wouldn't be pleasant. But
I don't give a shit.
Make a history check.
Okay. 19.
Okay, you're aware that there is an eyrie, their equivalent of the airbase. It's not within the city. It's about half a day's ride outside of the city. You've heard of it, but the Air Force is kind of strictly controlled by by Brighthall's military. It's functionally the equivalent of popping in to the RAF and asking if you can have a quick ride in a Harrier.
Right, yeah. Makes sense.
So flying.
Let's talk to Brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go and talk to Brandy.
Okay, you head over to the over to Cypress Key, went to the small house nearby, and indeed the lights are on. These are sailors; they are on shore leave. And
Told you.
Knocking at the door, the black-haired form of Uncle Vig opens it. Ah, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you for a few days. We're glad to hear that the militia sorted out that whole shadow thing.
Yes, the militia did really well.
You look like you have swallowed. You have just swallowed this sour lemon. What is in your mind?
Sorry, bad day.
Would some good news help cheer you up?
Yes.
We've negotiated our ransom. We will need to
That
take.
is good news.
Yes, we'll need to take them into Meadmere to make the arrangements, since that is a neutral country with regard to Assyria.
When do we leave? When do we leave?
As soon as the ship is ready, pretty much.
Would money make it happen faster?
Maybe if you went to, I mean, it will take probably take a couple of 100 gold crowns.
Yep, great. How many hundred?
Here you go.
Okay. I mean, right.
Where in Meadmere are you heading?
I've not been there myself, but Brandy has in the past. This town is.
I hear Warwick's watch is lovely.
I hear it's really nice. It's a holiday town.
Are you reading my mind?
Yes, I can do that.
Make a deception check.
Oh shit. Oh no, that's good. I'm alright. Just this is 16. It's not too bad.
He seems a little doubtful whether or not you're being serious there. Yeah, let's keep your weird drow magic away from me. But yes, how did you know that was where the exchange was going?
I read your mind. I told you.
We really need to get there.
We really do.
Fast.
How fast could we make the repairs happen? Do you
I
think?
mean, I don't know. I guess if you, I mean, they're already working. We've got all the materials. It's just a question of the labour time. I suppose I could ask them if I had call it 300 gold crowns. I could get them to do double shifts. We could go out maybe by just after sundown on the 4th.
That's
Corzin
great.
takes out the purse of money he got from the McDougalls. That's 120. He takes out the other 120 he was paid for the job. And
I guess Celestia puts in the other 60. I guess.
You're putting in too much. Have some gold.
Yeah, I've got gold. You can. You've got reason to keep your gold.
He says, I also have a very personal stake in going to Meadmere right now, as the two of you are well aware.
It's okay. So do I. I'm happy to split this, darling.
I
Well,
have
also,
no stake.
speaking of
Have
me-
100 gold.
Alright, we'll work with the
I do not know where you have been getting this money, but I am glad that you are having that this has been a very prosperous time for you.
Our rich uncles all died at once.
I am sorry for your loss.
This is maybe the least composed you've ever seen Celestia. She's just like weakly giggling, like tears in the
you know
eyes.
the deal here. Don't ask, don't tell.
Okay,
you
quite
really,
understand.
You really
there's
don't want to
something that-
know.
But there is something that we really ought to be speaking to both you and the captain about, because it is something that I think is going to interest the both of you very much.
Right, okay. I will see if he's available. Brandy, you're available! Come on! There's a sound of the door opening.
Celestia
closing.
wipes her face and just tries to like be a real person for a minute. It's
Brandy's
like a mess.
deep brown orcish face is actually quite red in the cheeks. Good to see you, Horhace. Stardust. Scamp.
Hello.
You all look terrible. Come have some...
It's been a long couple of days, Captain.
Looks like it. Right.
Well,
come into the other sitting room because her ladyship is busy drinking in that one. You'll be happy to know we managed to arrange the ransom. Apparently, there's a broker in Warwick's Watch up in Meadmere who arranges these sorts of things.
Celestia starts laughing again.
It's
Right.
lovely at this time of year.
there is something in Warwick's Watch that we have recently discovered, in fact.
Right.
We have it on good authority that a ship just put into Warwick's Watch, which might be of interest to all of us.
Right.
It's called the Scarlet Wind. Don't know if you've heard of it.
How much do you know about the Scarlet Wind, Captain?
Enough to know that I don't really want to tangle with them, but you know what? There's 3,000 gold crowns riding on us doing this. I suppose I'll have to go there anyway.
Captain, if the Scarlet Wind has indeed put into Warwick's Watch, as we have it on good authority that it has from some of our local contacts here, then, well, they're going to be weak and vulnerable. Can you imagine what it might be for a captain of a ship who took the Crimson Wind?
Scarlet Wind,
Sorry?
darling.
Scarlet Wind.
Why, I certainly can. My pa imagined a very similar thing.
You might have been hearing about your pa.
I'm sure. And the less we talk about him, the happier I'll be.
Understood.
Suffice to say, he tried to challenge the Scarlet Wind. Got me saying it now.
It's a red-coloured wind. It's fine. We can.
The Scarlet Wind, and he was lucky to come away with one of his legs. Still, though, you make a good point. If we could just get those crews to be working double time. Already got it sorted, boss.
Yeah, that's done.
All right then. Well then, if we see it, and if it is weak, maybe we'll see what we can do about taking that prize.
The sooner we get there, the sooner we can see for ourselves. But also, if there's a way that myself, Celestia, and Scamp could get there ahead of time, make sure it's softened up for you, get the lay of the land, then maybe we'll be in a better position.
Don't suppose you know of anything.
Vig, when do you think that the ships, if we've got the crews working double time, probably around the nightfall on the 4th. No, I don't know of any ships going out sooner than that. There's old captain I know on the Black Bodkin that's going out maybe a couple of hours before, but that's no time.
She was an arse.
Also, the regret will overtake her long before she makes it.
Yeah, she's going all around the fucking houses.
Well then, 2.5 days then. We'll take the whip to those to the repair crews.
Hope that's a figure of speech.
That certainly is a figure of speech.
Good.
What do you think we're? What do
They're
you think
not
we're?
slaves,
What do you think
they're
we're doing?
paid
Making
for
the
the
whips out of
labels.
solid gold? No. Making sure. We'll see what we can do about speeding that up then. Do you want to run over tonight to the? Not a problem. I'm happy to do it. Good. Where do you get that extra money from, anyway? Apparently, he gestures towards the three of you. Not that I'm not
Our
happy to
rich
see.
uncles all died.
Right. And that's nothing to do with that money. Nothing to do with that jewellers that got robbed last night.
No, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, right then. Make sure you're back on the ship by before the tide comes on the 4th. We'll get out of this town quick as we can.
Great.
Right you are, Captain.
In the meantime, do the best you can to relax. I know it's hard waiting, but we'll get off as soon as we can.
We'll keep
Got any of
busy.
that Orcus XO left?
You know, funny enough. Actually, that's a good point. You got all the Orcus
I've got
XO.
some.
Ah,
I've
good.
got loads. Let's have some.
That was directed at Celestia.
Because I just finished drinking mine.
Pour Brandy the large glass and pour everybody else some.
Well then.
I drink it out of a bottle.
Cheers.
Cheers to the three of you then.
Cheers.
To Meadmere, the Fine Ransom, and the Scarlet Wind.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
To track her down, to save the day, what price are you prepared to pay? To get her back, to make things whole, will you chip pieces from your soul?
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.